Your next stop is Unpassive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. It all depends upon your location. I want to take this special moment to welcome each and everyone. The reason why I'm welcoming you guys is because this is a special evening. I'm welcoming you guys because our Heavenly Father loves you guys. I want to thank each and everyone, seriously, for coming here to listen to our amazing leader here. But before I hand it over, I want to introduce our host for tonight. We do have this amazing lady here that she has been within Unpassive for quite some time. And what I know about her is that she loves our Heavenly Father. She is very strong and she is very determined to do whatever she wants to do when it comes to Unpassive. When it comes to Unpassive, she is a fighter. She stands on her grounds. And what she loves is she loves our Heavenly Father. Most importantly, she loves our CEO as well. I want us to welcome this particular individual. Her name is Queen Julie Pierre. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Good evening, everyone. And let me say welcome to this amazing platform where we come every week to empower ourselves, to educate ourselves, and to prepare ourselves to live the dream of our CEO, which is to uplift humanity. Tonight, I would like to address you on how to rise above the storms of life, overcoming adversity and setbacks. Today, I want to talk about rising above the storms. We all face challenges and setbacks in our lives, but how we respond to those challenges truly define us. Adversity is inevitable, but it is important to remember that it's not the end of the world. It's not even the end of our story. It is just a part of it. And if we want to succeed, we have got to learn how to rise above the storm. The first thing we have to get to do is to change our mindset. You see, when you are in the middle of a storm, it is easy to feel like you are stuck, but you are not stuck. You have got to change your mindset and see the storm as an opportunity to grow and become a better person. Secondly, you have got to have a plan. You cannot just hope that things will work out. You have got to have a plan of action, and to take the necessary steps to make things better. And you have got to be persistent. You have got to keep pushing even when things get tough. Thirdly, you have got to be resilient. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's the ability to keep going even when things get tough. And it is something that you can develop. You see, Resilience is not something that you are born with. It is something that you can develop. And the more resilient you are, the more likely you are to rise above the storm of life. Fourthly, you have got to surround yourself with the right people, like-minded people. The people you surround yourself with can make all the difference. You see, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if you want to rise above the storm, you have got to surround yourself with people who lift you up, not bring you down. Sixthly, you have got to focus on what you can control. It is easy to get caught up in things that are out of your control and let them consume you. But you must remember that you can control yourself and your actions. So focus on what you can control and let go of the things you cannot. Also, trust is very important. And you need to trust that things will work out. Seventhly, you have got to be willing to adapt. Adversity often means change, and change can be difficult. But you have got to be willing to adapt and make the necessary change in order to rise above the storm. Eighthly, you have got to be grateful. It is easy to get caught up in the negative aspects of adversity, but it's important to remember to be grateful for what you do have. Gratitude can help shift your perspective and give you the strength to keep going. Ninthly, you have got to take care of yourself. Adversity can take a toll on your physical and mental well-being. It is important to take care of yourself by getting enough sleep, eating well, and exercising to maintain your energy and motivation. Learn to smile. Smile during the storm. Smile when you are doubtful. Smile when you are not even sure. Just smile. Great healing factor. Tenthly, you have got to learn from your mistakes. Adversity often comes from our own mistakes and failures. But instead of dwelling on them, use them as a learning opportunity. Reflect on what went wrong and what you can do differently next time. Recognize what is out of your control and what you can control. This will help you rise above the current storm and prevent future ones. Lastly, you have got to have faith that things will work out for the best. Not every setback in life is meant to harm us. Some come to teach and redirect. You have got to have faith that you can rise above the storm. You see, faith is not the absence of fear. It is the belief that something good will come out of it all. In conclusion, when you are in the middle of a storm, it's easy to feel like you are stuck, but you are not stuck. You have got to change your mindset and see the storm as an opportunity to grow and become a better person. You have got to have a plan of action and take the necessary steps to make things happen. And you have got to be resilient. Surround yourself with the right people, like-minded people, and have faith that things will work out for the best. And remember, we all will rise above the storm. Thank you for listening. Back to you, our sister Joyce Hicks.
Wow, Queen Sister Julie, this is me, Debbie. I will just say a couple of comments and I'll pass it over to my darling sister Joyce. Wow, you did rise above, not just by yourself, but the entire island. Thank you. And we are here to celebrate. We're celebrating this with our lovely brother who has just, I'll let that for Sister Joyce, but Sister Julie, we have risen above. That's why we are here. And you keep making each and everyone rise above. So thank you so much. That's so lovely. We could not have done that to celebrate this period other than this time of the week that we're in, because during the weekend when the celebration was going on and winding, we just decided we'll move to the next level. Thank you, Queen Sister Julie. We appreciate you. So we have a couple of people who are doing a few things here. I'm going to pass it over to my lovely sister, Joyce Hicks, to proceed with the evening. Over to you, Sister Joyce, and keep smiling, just like Dr. Benny was smiling. Thank you to Dr. Benny for welcoming each and every one of us. Over to you, Sister Joyce.
Thank you, Sister Debbie. Oh my goodness, what an exciting night. Julie, thank you for bringing the power. You always bring the fire and knock it out of the park. We are so excited on tonight, and just like to say welcome everyone to Julie Pierre's Empowering Humanity, August 14th, 2024. And thank you, Dr. Benny, for always welcoming and opening everyone with your beautiful smile and your warm heart of love. We just really appreciate you for everything that you do. Keep smiling, as Debbie said, keep smiling. And we appreciate everyone for being here on tonight. We thank you so much. Julie really appreciates this on tonight, and we would not have a show without you. So we really appreciate everyone for showing up, always supporting and being here, and just to support Julie and just to show your love for her and to come here to get educated and to get fired up and to just get fuel for the rest of the week. So we just really appreciate that. And just thank you, Sister Debbie, for your awesome moderation. You're just a pleasure. I love working with you, my co-moderator, every week, and I've learned so much from you, and I appreciate you so much. You're just a beautiful heart and spirit. So I really love you and thank you. I'm just gonna say a couple things here, and then I'm gonna get out of the way and turn it over to our dear friend here. I just like to just stop right here just to thank everyone for everything that you do behind the scenes. Dr. Pat, Dr. John, Engineer Mike, Dr. Benny, Sister Debbie, Julie. You know, we do so much, and a lot of times we don't get appreciated for it. But I just want to take this time to say thank you guys for everything that you do behind the scenes. It could not be done without you. So you make this webinar run so smoothly. Have a few more things, but I'm not even good to go there. But thank you, Julie Pierre, for being a beautiful, awesome host and for delivering awesome mindsets every week that you get us ready and you set us up for what's to come. So you always set the stage for us, and we just really appreciate you. And tonight we are just so honored and excited. We're blessed to have our special guest with us tonight. You know, I know no one knows who this gentleman is. He is just a giant, just all over in the industry, and I'm passive, is none other than our special guest, Michael Williams, Mr. Michael Williams from Ames. He is with us tonight, and just like to see a few things about Michael. I know he doesn't like a lot of accolade and people saying things about him, but we're just going to honor you on tonight because we are blessed and we are honored to have you here on tonight, and we just appreciate you so much. Michael is a family man. He is a husband, a father. He is a strong man of faith, and he loves God. So Michael loves spending time with family, and his family means everything to him. Michael is the owner and founder of the Automatic Internet Millionaire, which we call AIM. And his mission was to help everyone succeed. And that's one of the things that align with him about OnPassive. As Michael often says, it's not about me, but it's all about you. And we really appreciate that about him. And we know that because it's not about him, he makes sure that he's out there helping everyone and uplifting humanity and doing so much for us on the scene, behind the scene, around and everywhere. Michael is also, he is a mathematician. He is known as a numbers man, and we all love hearing him talk about numbers. Michael is a servant leader. He's a mentor, a brother, and a friend. Um, he has so many other accomplishments that he has done, and we just really appreciate him for that. And as I said, he's a servant leader. He's been with OnPassive for, I believe, 6 years. I think he said he started maybe like in July of 2018. Michael supports everyone everywhere he shows up. He supports, he presents on every platform and OnPassive. And I believe Michael has helped almost every person in OnPassive, to be honest. And I could say that, just knowing he's helped everyone in OnPassive. And he does it with a big heart, with a smile. He never complains. He always has a positive attitude. And he has a heart and love for humanity and for people. And, it's just seen and shown all over every platform that Michael is on. And Michael continues to freely bless us and educate us with his knowledge and his wisdom and understanding. And, he is a part of Julie Wynn's live conversation every Monday. And, they get on, they talk, and they educate. And I love listening to them and hearing them. And I know that Michael sees the mission and he sees the vision of OnPassive. He's committed to OnPassive. He's committed to the movement he runs with. He stands behind and stands with and supports Mr. Ashmafar and OnPassive 1,000%. As I said, Michael, he is a servant leader. He is a brother, a mentor, and a friend. And tonight, I would like to ask you guys to help me in welcoming our own brother, Mr. Michael Williams Aim, who is so graciously agreed to be with us on tonight. And we are so honored to have you here. We're excited. We're pumped up, Michael, and we know we're just ready to hear you, that you're going to bring we're going to give you the floor to do whatever you want to speak about. We will have some questions and things for you too. But Michael, just say hello to everyone. Thank you.
Wow, that was a long introduction. My gosh. To say, hey, here's this guy. He's coming here to chit chat. Here he is. See? Nice and simple. Can't go wrong when you do that. Thank you so much, Joyce. It's a great pleasure to be here with all of you, of course. Julie, thanks for the invitation. And I will also like to thank all of you for all that you do. This is a collective effort, so it's all of us working together to make it happen, to ensure that all of us get to our desired destination, which is to be totally free. Right? That's the goal. The goal is to be able to help everyone, free from the cares of life. Right? That's really what it's about. And thank you so much, Julie, for that intro with regards to how to rise above the storms, because God knows there are a lot of storms out there. There's a lot of storms that people go through. A lot of challenges people go through in their everyday life. For some, getting up in the morning is a challenge. And so we're certainly blessed when we're able to, wake up with a smile on our face. Wake up to see another day. It's another opportunity, right? Again, not everybody wakes up in the morning. These are things we take for granted, right? You go to bed and not everybody woke up that next morning, right? Because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. There's no guarantee that you'll see tomorrow. So that's why we always want to be in good spirit. We always want to cherish the people, that are close to us. You know, I believe, you know, that's a good reason to always be optimistic in life. You know, time is too precious. So there's no need to waste it on negativity. There's no need to waste it, you know, not doing what you love. And unfortunately, the majority of people in this world are unable to do what they actually love, right? It's unfortunate because can you imagine a world where every single one of us, like all of us, the billions of people on this planet, were actually engaged, actually doing what they love, right? Can you imagine, right? Be a much different place. You know what I mean? You turn on the news, and you know what do you hear? What do you see? You know what I mean? Whether it's in your community, whether it's in your town, you know, there's some crazy people out there doing some crazy things. You know, and so we always have to, you know, guard ourselves, protect our loved ones. But it starts with a positive mindset, of course, right? It starts with no matter how bad things are, no matter how many storms are out there, right? We still have to see a sunny day. We still have to see it that, you know what? Hey, I'm in the land of the living. So that alone is something to be thankful for, right? You have another opportunity to make it a better day, right? You have another opportunity to take another step towards your goal. And even when we fail, when we fall down, right? Okay, as long as you're still in the land of the living, you have hope, right? You join a business, you fail at it, okay? But guess what? You still got the breath of life in you. So therefore, you still have hope. You still have opportunity, right? It's amazing how so many people, you know, go through years and years of adversity, and then one day they get that breakthrough that they were looking for. You know what I mean? And that's why we never give up. Right? No matter how hard something is, you just don't give up. Right? You keep at it. Right? You keep pressing on. You know, that's important in life. You know, so I'm grateful every day that I wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, I'm still here. You know, that's a good thing because it's not something that we should really take for granted. Although, as I said, the cares of life, I think, you know, robs us of living our best life. You know, we're so caught up just trying to make ends meet that we never get the opportunity to kind of sit back and reflect. You know, take time out. You know, to just appreciate the world that we have. You know what I mean? So when we get an opportunity to come on here, to come together with like-minded people, people who are positive, people who are looking for a brighter day, people who are, you know, excited about the business that they're in. You know, you know, it's all about love. It's all about, you know, we care for each other, and that's why we do it. We're not getting paid for doing it. We're not getting paid to come here tonight. You know what I mean? And so we don't have to be here tonight, right? We don't have to. It's a choice. We choose to be here because we love and care about what we're doing in this great company called On Passive, right? So I'm not quite sure the format, right? If you just want me to just go ahead and just keep talking or what you have. But at some point, if not now, we certainly want to talk about why we need On Passive, right?
Yes, Mike,
I think.
go right ahead. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's important, right? You know, we have to understand that we need On Passive. It's not we want On Passive. That isn't it, right? It's something that we actually need, you know, and I'm always thinking about that, right? I'm always thinking about the 1.4 million account holders, right? Because we know it's not 1.4 unique individuals. You know, but when we think about everyone that's involved, we have to come to the conclusion that it's a need, right? And why is that? In life, you have to have something that is separate from your time being spent generating your income, right? You have to have something that is separate from your time being used to generate your income. Otherwise, you can never retire, right? That's how that works, okay? There's a reason why you have people that are 70, 75, 80, even older than that, that are still out there looking, trying to find a way to supplement their income, right? Because most people spend their time at a job, right, throughout their lives, whether it be 30 years, 40 years, that's what people do. And then when you finish that, well, how do you live for another 10, 20, 30, 40 years? Like, how do you live, right? Were you able to save enough money for then the money now to be able to spend the time working for you so that you don't have to work for it, right? So if we understand that, then we realize that if it's not on passive, it has to be something else that's going to be able to generate returns without us having to work for it. How can you say you have freedom if every day you got to get up and go work? Because if you don't work, no money comes in, right? So you spend your time working for it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how great your job is. It doesn't matter how well your job pays, right? If you're making $500,000 a year, let's say $1 million a year, you're making $1 million a year, but you make that money because you're exchanging your time for it. It's still no good. You understand? Because there's going to come a point where you can't work no longer. There's going to come a point where you yourself cannot physically work to maintain that $1 million a year income, right? So whether it's 40,000 a year or whether it's $1 million a year, it's still the same thing as far as you can't spend your entire life exchanging your time for money. This is why people look for something that they can build, right? And doesn't matter whether they're there or not, the income continues with or without them, right? This is why, take a look at people who are rich, people who are wealthy, right? Take a look at them. What are they doing? Like, you think Bill Gates still have to work? If he says, you know what, I'm just going to go to an island right now and I'm going to spend my rest of my days there, money still comes in, right? Regardless. You understand? All right. And it doesn't have to be a billionaire, right? Take someone who's a multi-millionaire. You know what I mean? Same thing. If they have their money working for them as an investor, right? So if they have the money working for them as an investor, right? And so therefore they have returns coming in as a result of their investments. So whether they're out there working or not working, money continues to come in. That person is free. Okay, they're free. And so why we need on passive is because the majority of us, that's exactly what we do. We are exchanging our time for money, right? And so if we continue to do that, there is no way we'll ever reach freedom status, right? You just can't be. That's why you have people who have money, but they don't have time, right? That's why you have people who have time, but they ain't got no money, right? So you have to be in a situation where you have time and money, right? And this is where your people talk about residual income, or what I would like to call walk away income, right? You want to have walk away income, right? And that's what on passive will provide for all of us, is walk away income, meaning it gets going, you set it up, everything is running, it's nice and smooth, right? And you can walk away. So that means that you don't have to be here. If you don't want to do a webinar, you don't do a webinar, right? If you want to go, leave the country for 6 months or what, you can leave for 6 months, right? You can be out there, travel wherever, right? You can finally go to visit Julie Pierre in St. Lucia, okay? Right? Taking the jazz festival, right? Okay. Eat some great food. You know what I mean? Just be aware of the snakes though. Okay. Right. But the point is, you need to have that And so as people join these different businesses, what they're finding is that they join business one, they fail. They join business two, they fail. They join business three, they fail, and so on. Because those businesses are not structured. The model is not the right model to ensure that you get the freedom that you're looking for. All they're doing is just smoke and mirrors. All they're doing is just, dangling the carrot in front of you. You understand me? Making you think, oh yeah, come over here in XYZ company, you're gonna be a millionaire in 2 minutes and all this fancy stuff, only to find out that, oh, it just doesn't work that way. That's just not how it works, right? You have to be in a position whereby automation is important, right? You have to be able to automate. You understand? If you can't automate, then guess what? Somebody has to do the work. If somebody has to do the work, that somebody usually is you, because the companies then are not going to do the work for you. They're just not, right? And if you're in a business that's a referral based, that maybe multi-level marketing, whatever, right? The person who invited you in, they're not going to do the work for you either. You understand? Because they themselves don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do what is needed, what is required to make it happen. So this is why we have to have a company such as On Passive that promises us cat mo. We have to have that. You have to have a business whereby there's real products involved, there's real people involved. They can structure it in such a way that, oh, I just have to buy the traffic. The traffic goes where it needs to go. Traffic is people. These people see what I'm offering. They decide to buy. If they don't buy, the system can follow up with them without me lifting a finger. Okay? But I own the system. It's my business. So once I deploy it, once I put it into play, I can now walk away. I can go about my business. You see, folks, that's what Automatic Internet Millionaire was all about, right? It's about people was able to come in, they registered, they purchased their products, and they walked away. And then the work was being done for them. You understand? So it's not that there's no work involved. There has to be. If there's no work involved, then you don't have a real business. Okay? Work has to be involved in every single business. There is work. It's just that it doesn't have to be done by you, right? If you go buy a franchise, let's just use McDonald's, right? You go buy a franchise. You don't have to work there. You don't have to do the work, right? You can go buy it, hire staff, let them go. So I got a manager, I got people working on the cashier, I got people in the back flipping the burgers, all of that stuff, right? So the business is being run. Me, the owner, I'm not there. I'm off doing my own thing. I'm off on the golf course, right? I'm off having fun with my family, right? But I own the business. So work is being done, the business is being run, but just not by me, right? So you see how that works? So I can have work being done, just doesn't have to be by me. I use this example all the time about cutting my grass. Okay, it gets cut all the time. You understand? Without me having to lift a finger, right? My kids don't cut it. My wife doesn't cut it. You understand? It gets cut because what? You get someone to do the work so you don't have to do it. So if I go away and I come back, my grass looks nice. My lawn looks great. You understand? I don't have to be there, right? The work is being done, okay? So understand that you can have work being done, but it doesn't have to be done by you. Now, isn't that a beautiful thing? Think about your job right now, whatever it is that you do right now, okay? Can you imagine if your work was being done, right? Your work is being done, but not by you. So let's say you're a nurse, right? You're a nurse, okay? So normally you go in for a 12-hour shift, let's say, okay? And somehow your boss says, you know what? We are able to automate everything that you used to do, okay? So that way, it's still your job, it's still your responsibility, but we're gonna use automation. We have a robot, let's say, and the robot can do all that you used to do, But we're not going to fire you. We're not going to replace you. We're just going to make the robot do all this for you so that you can actually stay home with your family. And while you're home with your family, all your duties, all your responsibilities are being done, are being taken care of for that 12-hour shift. So your work is being done, but you're not there. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Tell me you wouldn't enjoy that, right? Because maybe you don't love being a nurse. I mean, some people do, but maybe you don't. So all of a sudden now that my work is still being done, so therefore I'm still getting paid, income is coming in, I can go over here now and go do what I really love to do. Maybe I want to be a bobsledder. I don't know. Right? You understand? You go off and go do whatever you're passionate about. Maybe you want to start a foundation. Maybe you want to, go out and volunteer your time and help, charities, whatever, right? You want to help with the kids in the community, etc., after school programs, whatever the case may be. And that's something that you really want to do, right? So you have your work being done for you while you're off enjoying life. Okay? So therefore, you have the best of both worlds. Wouldn't you want the best of both worlds? Wouldn't you want to be able to have consistent income coming in and at the same time be able to be engaged in what you're really passionate about, right? And that consistent income is not based upon you exchanging your time for it. Like, wouldn't you want that? I would think everybody would want that, right? The reality is it's not going to happen for everyone. Because guess what? Not everyone's going to come into OnPassive. You know what I mean? Everyone won't. And you say, well, why not? Why wouldn't they? Come on now, right? I'm sure you invited some folks and they told you no, right? You know what I mean? And even if you were making money right now and you went and shared OnPassive with someone, you're still going to have people that's going to tell you no. You understand? So it's not because, well, if I was making money, then everybody would come in. No, not true. Not true. Okay? I've been involved in businesses where we're making money, okay? And we tell people, says, hey, you need to be doing this. No, I'm good. Now, I'm telling you to get in because I know you're not good. You understand? I'm trying to help you. I'm good, right? I don't need you to come in because I'm good. We're already making money, etc., right? But because I care about you, I'm actually telling you about it. I'm not going to run you down. I'm not going to try and convince you. You know what I mean? But I'm going to invite you, though, just in case you may be open-minded, right? Because all we really want people to do is take a look at something, right? We're not trying to bang them over the head and say, hey, if you don't do this, we're no longer friends. No. You know what I mean? Right? So the thing is, not everybody's going to come into OnPassive. That's just the reality. Okay? No matter how good a product is, no matter how good a compensation may be, no matter how good a company is, no matter how good, you have companies that treat their employees so well and people still quit those jobs. They still quit for whatever reason. Because in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I would never quit. Yeah, you wouldn't, but there's others who would, right? It's like when you see someone, has done something to some other person, and you're like, oh, I would never do that, right? But guess what? That's you. You would never do that. But it doesn't mean millions of other people wouldn't. It's like, I would never go bungee jumping. Like, never. You say, you know what, here's $100 million if you go bungee jumping. It's not going to happen. Never. You understand? But lots of people would do it for free. Well, they do it for free, right? You understand? So you can have a lot of people that want to do something, but nope, it's not for me. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Right? So not because you have something that is good, understand it doesn't mean that everyone's going to come running, knocking down your doors. Right? It doesn't mean, that's not being realistic. Right? But we do understand that there is a need for what we have. There's a need. We know that people are struggling. We know that people are hurting, all of that, right? And we know that they're trying. So it's not like people are not trying. They are trying. They're trying A, they're trying B, they're trying C. People are trying. People say, okay, I'm going to get into, everybody makes money in real estate. So I'm going to be a real estate investor. I'm going to go buy some homes. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to make all kinds of money. People try that. Do you think that most people in real estate make money? They don't. Right? People spend thousands of dollars on courses. You know what I mean? No money down, this, that, all this fancy stuff. Right? But not because Susie's making money in real estate doesn't mean that you will. It just doesn't work that way. Right? Again, that's how life works, folks. People always seem to think they look at somebody else and say, well, if Dr. Benny can do that, oh, I can do that, no problem. Not true. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way though, right? Not because somebody else is able to do something doesn't mean that you are able to do the same thing as them, right? So the same way you could be in a business and you're making money, right? And you share it with someone else and they come and they make no money at all. They're like, man, you lied to me. You told me you were making money, right? I've been in this thing for 6 months now. I can't make no money. What's going on, right? So not because you are doesn't mean that other person will. This is why we need on passive. You understand? This is why we need on passive, because it doesn't matter who you are. You will make money though, right? Again, based upon the model. How can you not make money? If I know how to create a website, okay, know how to find the right targeted traffic for my offer, and I can continuously have that traffic being run. How would I not? Okay, you have a restaurant, right? And you have a constant flow of people coming through that restaurant. You don't think you don't make money? Even if you're a bad cook, okay? I mean, they may not come back as a repeat customer, okay, right? But they're going to come and they're going to buy, right? If you have a constant flow coming in, people are going to buy and they're going to come and buy and come and buy and come and buy, right? They may not come back if the food is no good, but you will always get that initial sale, okay? That's what we're talking about when you have a business and you have a constant flow of traffic, okay? No matter how good the business is or how bad the business is, you will make sale. Obviously, if the business is good, you make even more sales, okay? That's how that works. So if you can understand it, and really see how the traffic is so important, because there's a lot of great businesses out there, a lot of great companies. But if you can't market, if you can't send enough visitors there, you're not going to make a penny. You understand? You just won't. You have to have a constant flow of traffic, constant flow of traffic. You know what I mean? You need that. Again, I've said this before, right? Many times, that this is why we see all these big corporations. Again, success leaves clues, folks. We see all these big corporations making billions of dollars, and yet they're still advertising to this very day. They've been advertising for 20 years, 30 years, and they're still advertising today. Why? You understand? There's a reason, right? You said, well, but you've advertised enough. Everybody knows McDonald's. Why is McDonald's still advertising? Makes no sense to me. But they do. They send out flyers. You get these coupons or whatever. Tell you about different deals they're having. All of this stuff, right? Again, they keep putting their name in front of you, right? That's the art of marketing. You have to keep putting your name in front of people. Let's say you're a life insurance salesperson, right? Now I know life insurance agents get a bad rap, right? But I'm not going to do that to them, okay? Right? I believe it's a needed service. I think everyone should have a life policy, blah, 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 okay? So I'm not here to harp on that, okay? But you're a life insurance salesperson. Think about it now, okay? That you want to be successful, right? In that particular business, you have to have a constant flow of traffic, constant flow of referrals, right? You have a client comes see you, you sit down with them, you go through, boom, okay, got a policy. You ask that person for referrals, okay? Hey, you're happy with my service? You know what I mean? Okay, do you know anyone else? that would be looking for this, right? They go through their thing that they do, right? And so they get a referral. And if that person has a constant flow, they will always succeed. You have guys who what's called the $1 million round table, right? And so these are some top earners in the industry, okay? And you have some guys that make some significant amount of money in that industry, right? Why? Because they have a constant flow of traffic, right? So regardless the business, regardless whether it's insurance, whether it's real estate, right? Whether the person is selling medical equipment, right? Whatever it is, right? Health and dental insurance, whatever the case may be, right? If you have a constant flow, you will always succeed. Okay. And that's one of the pillars in OnPassive, to be able to provide a constant flow, right? So that you don't run out. You want more, you just buy it, right? It's scalable, right? It's scalable. All these pieces, all these things that are being done for you, all these tools that are being created for you so that you can have a walk away income, right? That is what you want, folks. Walk away income, walk away money, right? So when I walk away, that money continues to flow. Because if it isn't, life sucks, right? It just does. Okay. If you don't have walk away money, life sucks. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be a millionaire or a billionaire or rich or wealthy. None of that. Okay. Maybe your walk away income is $40,000 a year because that's all you need. You understand? Right? Maybe you live in a country whereby, hey, if you have 10,000 US every single year coming in without you having to work for it, that's your walk away income, right? So I'm not putting a number on it. I'm not saying it has to be this amount. What I'm saying, it has to be something that does not depend upon you being physically there. Okay? That's how that works, folks. And so OnPassive is set up, is structured to provide that for people so they have walk away money. Okay? That's what you need. Now, again, all the right principles are there. We're not talking about some money flowing here, there. We're talking about proper business etiquette. We're talking about products. Sell those products, you generate commissions from that sale. But by automating the process, now I have walk away money. Okay? That is so important. And that's why we need OnPassive. If another company can provide that to you, that's fantastic. The reality is, no one is interested in providing that to you. They're just not, right? They don't want to do it. Why? Because they know, well, nobody else is doing it, so why should I be different, right? I know if I just dangle enough money in front of you, you're going to continue to keep coming, right? Amway's been around for over 50 years, right? Over 50 years, and people are still joining Amway to this very day. You understand? And you have some folks that will never touch it. You have some folks who've been there and just will not go back. You understand? You have some folks, as soon as you say that, you don't have to even finish the word. They're running the opposite direction. You understand? But you still have people in there that are making millions of dollars. Obviously, not everybody. The majority are not making no money. Okay? But the reality is, it's still there. Why? They got real products. You understand? They have real products. But they're not looking anytime soon to say, well, you know what? Let's put together a model so that all of our reps can have walk away income. No. They're saying, you know what? You are on your own. Hey, we've made the products. We've set up a nice website for you, right? We're going to manage the compensation, but you got to go do the work. So in other words, the hardest part is what they're telling you that you need to do. You understand? OnPassive says, no. The hardest part, we're going to do it for you. Right? Isn't that a difference? Right? This is why we need OnPassive. Here's a company that says, this is how we're going to make this thing work. Right? We're going to do the hardest part for you. Because folks, most people can't even go create a basic website. You understand? Most people can't. Right? Most people say, okay, where do you think is the best place to get traffic? They couldn't tell you. Okay, how do I even drive? Can't tell you. They don't even know what an autoresponder is. You understand? Right? They don't know how to automate anything. And you expect these people now to go out there and go be top earners? You expect these people to go out there now and have stay in power with your company? How does that work? Good luck with that. That's why there's so much turnover, right? Can you imagine a car salesperson, right? If they had the ability to have someone doing all the selling for them, right? While they're out just golfing every day. That would be a dream job, right? Just doesn't work that way though. They have to show up. They have to put the work in. If they don't put the work in, they don't get paid. You understand? Right? That's how our society is built upon. It's built upon you have to put the work in order for you to get paid. You have to exchange your time in order for you to get paid. But the smart people figured out that, hey, you know what? Let me go start a business. Let me hire some staff, and then I'll walk away while they do all the work. And while they're doing all the work, I take most of the money. You understand? Because they have nowhere else to go, so they have no choice but to stay and work for me. Right? That's how our society is built. As opposed to having a collective whereby let's all work together so that you have walkaway money, you have especially in today's climate where we have the technology to do it. Right? There used to be a show called The $6 Million Man. Right? So yeah, I'm old. Right? Okay, I'm old. Right? So if you remember that show, right, that was one of the things, right? Now they had the technology to build this bionic man. Before they didn't have that technology. You understand? But now they do. That's what we have today. We have artificial intelligence, so we can take that technology and use it to automate a lot of things in our lives. Right? A lot of things. And so that's why we need this great company called OnPassive, right? Because if you can have that, folks, then you can have the time of your life, right? Because, what would you rather be doing? Your job right now? Or would you rather be on the beach with your family? Would you rather be doing your job right now? Whatever your job is, okay? Maybe you're the chief of staff. I don't know. Maybe you're the president of the United States. Even the president of the United States would rather not be the job, right? They'd rather be on the golf course. And that's why they do a lot of golfing, okay? The reality is, no matter what someone is engaged in, as far as employment goes, there's usually something else they'd rather be doing. You know what I mean? There usually is, right? And so here we have a company that says, hey, we know this. We understand this. So let's take the time, build this thing the right way, even though we have challenges. Yeah, so what? Like our dear sister said earlier, storms are there, they come. You know what I mean? But they come, but we can also overcome, right? Storms are there, right? But, when you write a test, isn't the goal to pass the test? That's the goal, no? Are you writing a test to fail it? Do you walk and say, yeah, I'm going to fail this test today? Right? The goal is to pass it. So sometimes these storms come to test us, see what you're made of. Do you really deserve walk away money? Do you really deserve to have walk away income? Do you really deserve to have total freedom? Right? And so will you persevere? Will you continue? Will you continue to fight for what you want? Sometimes you have to take what you want by force. You understand? Sometimes you do, right? I'm not saying to be violent now. That's not what I'm talking about, right? But sometimes you have to be aggressive to get what you want in life. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we're too passive, right? Sometimes we just sit there and we wait in and we wait in and we're patient. The next person going to, sometimes you're there at the line, for whatever. Maybe you're going for dinner or something. There's a lineup to get into a restaurant or something. I don't know, right? And okay, another person just buds in front of you. Another person just buds in front of you. Another person just buds in front of you. Now, maybe you're at the fair or something, right? You know, in Toronto, we have Canada's Wonderland. So maybe you go to Canada's Wonderland and people just keep butting in front. And because you're such a nice person, you just sit there until they say, oh, you know, it's closed. You can't get in no more. And because you're so nice, everybody's, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to say, hey, what do you mean? What? No. Don't just, the lineup is down there. So you need to get to the back of the line like everybody else and not keep butting. You know what I mean? Right? The reality, folks, is that we have something that is so great in this company. So great, right? The vision, the idea, the mission that is there, right? The goal, the desire that is there, right? To want to see every single person succeed in life. That's just not normal, folks. It's not normal. Anytime you're doing something that's not normal, there's going to be issues. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be tests. When you're doing something that's not normal, when you're doing something that's born out of love, right? There's going to be these tests and these challenges. Now people say, well, I know my personal experience, I've gone through some things, right? And I says, you know what? I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't have it any other way because of the outcome that I received. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? If I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't believe the things that I believe today if I didn't go through all of that. You understand? So sometimes you have to go through stuff. I'm not saying that everything that comes your way is something to, you know, test you. I'm not saying that, right? But I'm saying that sometimes in life, though, these things come to really see what you're made of. Because a lot of people like to talk, right? Like to talk a good game. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, you know, I'll never leave you. Oh, yeah, I'll stand with you. I'm here. You know, people, you know, marriages, right? Right? They, for till death do us part and all this stuff. And then 6 months later, getting a divorce. You know what I mean? Right? Again, that's just real talk, folks, right? That's real life. It happens to people. You know what I mean? Right? But again, somebody who's there, somebody who's committed, right? Someone who's, no matter what, they are there for you, no matter what, right? Because there's always an opportunity to work things out. Always. Now, if you just can't work it out or whatever, then okay. You know what I mean? But there's always that opportunity, though, right? That chance is always there. You know what I mean? And if someone is truly committed, they're going to stand the test of time no matter what. And that's what we see in our CEO, someone who's committed. Because I'm telling you, folks, it's much easier to walk away. It's easier, right? It's much easier to walk away than to stand and fight. Think about that. Think about you get into a confrontation with somebody. Isn't it easier to just walk away? Because if you stand up and fight, you may lose. You may get beat up. You know what I mean? Right? It is a possibility. You don't know what the other person's working with. You know, they could be an Olympic boxer. You know what I mean? And here you are with your little, you know, right? You just don't know what people are working with, right? My last story, years ago, I got into this fight. It's a secret. Don't tell nobody, right? Years ago, I must have been, I don't know, 10 years old maybe, right? So I got into this fight with this guy. And he knew judo. I was like 10 years old, right? And he knew judo. I didn't know judo. So they do it. So what, you know, punched, just grabbed my hand, whoop, and he just flipped me just like that. Whoop, right? I was like, what the, right? You know what I mean? I got up again, tried to just whoop. That was it. The fight is over. It's done. It's finished. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know what he was working with, right? So sometimes it was much easier to just walk away. If I walk away, I wouldn't have got my feelings hurt. Okay, now don't tell anyone. Okay, Marty, do not tell anyone this. Okay? So you understand, folks, right? Sometimes you don't know what people are working with, right? So it's much easier to just walk away. Just walk away. Our CEO chooses to stand and fight to make sure that he delivers on what he told every single one of us. That is someone I can go to bat for. That is someone that I will go to war with. That is someone I would lock arm with, having that mindset, right? That's what you're willing to do. You understand, folks? That's who I want in my corner, right? Right. Earlier we heard it said that, you know, you, right, are usually the average of the 5 people that are closest to you, the 5 people that you hang out with, the 5 people in your circle, right? Who would you want in your circle? Wouldn't you want someone like that in your circle? That no matter what, they got your back, no matter what, they're there to fight, right? Think about that. You know what I mean? That's what this company is doing for us. And that's why so many people love this company, because of that mindset. That no matter what, folks, listen, this is the goal. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to accomplish. And no matter what, no matter who, we're going to go right through and we're going to make sure it happens. Yes, it's taking some time. We get it, right? We get it. But you know what, though? Sometimes the beginning of the journey seems long, and then all of a sudden, right? It's like when something goes viral, right? When something goes viral, this usually doesn't go viral like right away, right? Sometimes little traction, and then poof, it just explodes. You know what I mean? Just explodes, right? And that's what I believe is going to happen with OnPassive. You understand? We're chugging along, right? And then you just hit that critical mass, right? That critical point, and then boom, explosion. It's like drilling for oil. I've never drilled for oil, okay? But, right, when you're drilling for oil, hey, they're there sometimes for quite some time. You know what I mean? Until they finally, oh yeah, we got something here. Here's a gusher, whoo, and it starts to spew. You know what I mean? That's OnPassive, right? People out there looking for gold, looking, and then, oh, wait a minute, I think I got something here, right? And it's a mother lode. You know what I mean? That's OnPassive, folks. That's what's going to happen here. And so I look so much forward to it, because all of us, every single one of us, needs walk away income. You understand? We need walk away income. We want to be able to walk away, do what we love while we have consistent income coming in, because the entire process is automated for us. That's what we're looking for, folks. And that's why we need this great company called OnPassive. Back to you, whoever you is.
Oh my gosh, Michael Williams, let me tell you, you have us totally fired up. You just had so many awesome points. Walk away income and why we need OnPassive. I mean, from the challenges to why we need it and to where we are today and what's going to happen in the future. Oh my gosh. We had a couple questions here and some things we're going to chat, but I think you answered almost everything within that just by you talking. And I mean, you just have us so on fire tonight, and we're just excited and just waiting, um, just looking and thinking about OnPassive and thinking about where we are and where we've been. And like you said, all the challenges we've been through, we look at this platform and we look at everything that's happened, and with all the challenges and with everything that's happened in the past few months. And we see people, like you said, we see people coming through shining. We see people with even you just our CEO himself. He comes through shining every single time, no matter what challenge he faces, what obstacle is thrown in his way. He comes through shining with his qualities and his resilience, his persistence, his patience, his compassion, his loyalty, his commitment, his dedication. I mean, he continues to stand no matter what. As you were speaking, I was just thinking about that. And it's like, as we're moving forward, and you're saying, in order for us to have these things that Ash is fighting for us, and we have Catmo working for us, what do we need to do? We need to stand with him, and we need to be there with him and just be right there, be patient. We have all these qualities, but we see people coming through with all these qualities as well. That, commitment and that resilience and that dedication and that commitment to OnPassive and the commitment to Ash Mufareh, that we stand with him no matter what. because like you said, it's coming. No matter what, it is coming. You know, Michael, just saying that with when you were talking and knowing where we are with Unpassive and knowing everything that's before us and knowing that we have all of these products, these advanced products with features that have never been seen before. And with everything happening in the way that society is moving and the way that the industry and AI is moving, we're seeing more similar companies coming through with similar products, nothing near what Unpassive has. And you know, and I know I'm going to ask you this question. Will we expect Unpassive to come with more wow factors? And you already said it, what sets us apart from the rest of the companies out here? And my question here is that what sets us apart again, and what role does Unpassive play in this industry, and how important is it for Unpassive to stay ahead of the game as we have been, and I know we'll continue to be. So if you could just kind of.
Sure. Well,
Okay.
for me, right, it's not that we need to dominate, right? Not at all, right? You can have more than one company in the same space, right? Because there's more than enough for everybody, right? So what I look at is the fact that we have multiple products. So if we just get a piece of the market share, right, just a piece, right? We don't need a big slice, but just a piece. Maybe you get 5% from, you know, online learning platforms, right? From that space. Maybe you get 5% from, you know, domain names, right? Maybe you get 5% from the video conferencing. You know what I mean? Like, you just need to be able to get a piece of each of these pies. That's what matters, right? And I think based upon the model, by providing value to people first and foremost, right? Which includes part of value is also being cost effective, right? That's part of the value that you're given as well, right? And so when you combine all of that together, right, you're going to position yourself that people are going to come, right? Again, not everybody. Like, people think, oh my God, Zoom, you're finished. You know, no, everyone's going to leave Zoom and run to O Connect, and that's not true, right? That's not going to happen. People not gonna, oh, no one's getting no domain names from GoDaddy anymore. They're all gonna just be coming to OnPath. No, that's not true. You know what I mean? But all we need is a piece of it, a piece of it, a piece of it. Because as I said, there's more than enough. And then when you have a company that's not focused on generating all this revenue for itself, right? That's another reason why there's more than enough money for everybody, right? Because what's being shared back, right, is not, well, okay, we're going to take 90% and you get 10%. Not at all, right? If anything, it's the other way around, right? So when you look at that, you don't need to have a lot from each space either, based upon how that model works, right? So it's just a matter of how Unpassive is being put together. You know what I mean? It's a matter of knowing that, yes, all of our products are going to be infused, you know, with the latest technology. But it doesn't have to be the only technology that exists. It doesn't have to be that, you know, well, we're lights ahead, you know what I mean, light years ahead of everybody else. And no, not at all, right? We can coexist, right? We can coexist with other companies because they're not going to be built like Unpassive. It won't be the same model, but they may offer the same or similar products, which is perfectly fine, right? If you want to go buy a bottle of water, like, how many companies out there sell bottled water? You know what I mean, right? You want to go buy a loaf of bread. How many companies out there are selling bread? So you can have multiple companies. You walk into a pharmacy, you know, just look at all the vitamins that you see on the shelves. It's like, oh my gosh, like, how do these companies stay in business? There's so many of them, right? But there's room for everybody, right? There's room for everybody. So Unpassive will, you know, find room there in all these different industries that we'll be engaged in. So to me, that's how we succeed, right? It's not necessarily, well, we have the best of the best in everything that we do. It's not necessary, right? You know, you're gonna have some things, some products where we're gonna shine like no other, right? And then you can have some products whereby, you know, we're in the middle of the road, so to speak, right? As far as you know, what's out there currently in the marketplace, right? But this company is always focused on value. It's always a value-driven company first and foremost. And so because of that, we will find our own space. There's no doubt about that.
Great answer, Michael. I love that. I love that. Like you say, multiple products. We don't have to be the best of everything, but just having a piece of the pie, just a little portion of it, and we're going to be like Colin says, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. So
There you
I
go.
love that answer. And one thing you said, we're not focusing on bringing all the money in and on taking all the money. Passive is focusing flipping that chart around and, saying, make sure that all of the founders and the people that are in here are successful. And that is great. I love it. Thank you so much for answering that. And, I'm loving this conversation. I'm loving everything that's going on. You're on fire. We're just having a good time here chatting. And I'm going to turn it over to my beautiful sister, Julie Pierre, and she's going to fire at you more than I did, Michael. So, Julie, welcome.
Thank you, Sister Joyce. Brother Michael, I want us to do some internal evaluation. We have many platforms across the globe in Unpassive, all brand ambassadors of Unpassive. How can we leverage our people's power, leadership, and diversity to collaborate seamlessly across our platforms, elevating all so no one is left behind?
Wow. You sound like you have a PhD or something. That sounds like a doctorate question. Oh dear. So you need a doctorate in order to answer it, is what I'm getting at. And I don't have one. But anyhow, indeed, we do have obviously a lot of great people that's in this company. There's no doubt about it. And okay, am I supposed to write? Is that what the board is for? The whiteboard? I guess not. So I think we have lots of people that have unique skills, right? There's no doubt about that, and I think when we get going, right, I think there'll be a lot of collaboration, right? I think you're going to have people that will come together and by putting out what it is that they're looking to do, right? So I'm looking to do something for save the whale, let's say, right? That's something that's dear to my heart, and you know what I mean. It's an example. I'm not saying saving the whale is dear to my heart. I'm using an example, okay? So if that's your thing, right, and that's something that you're passionate about, I think people will be able to put that forward, and those whom it resonates with, they'll be able to take that up as well and support it, right? As far as us doing webinars, right? And again, you have lots of different webinars going on and all of that. I think it's human nature that everyone wants to be the head and not necessarily the tail, right? Everyone wants to be the leader and not necessarily willing to share, right? Some kids play very nicely in the sandbox together, and then you have some people just want to take over the sandbox, right? So if I can use that analogy, and you have to kind of figure out what I mean by that, right? So, it's a space whereby, to me, people should be free to just do as they see fit, as long as they're not infringing on anyone else, they're not harming anyone else, etc. Because there is a lot of us, right? It's not like there's like 10 of us. It's a lot of us, right? And then you have people of different, obviously different time zones around the globe, right? So you may have a webinar at 12 o'clock, and because it's 12 o'clock in the daytime, you can have thousands of people attend. You understand? Because it can reach far more time zones, right? When you have something, say 8 o'clock at night, right? Okay, not everybody's that infused, to wake up at 3 in the morning to come on and to support and all these things, right? So you can have a mixture of that. But I think that the greatest collaboration, the greatest support is going to be when we have different ideas to uplift humanity, which I think is the more important part of the collaboration, right? As opposed to getting on a webinar and all of that. But I think people support where they can, right? Because obviously I see people here that I see on other webinars and so on, right? People support where they can, and they try to work together as much as possible, because all you guys are working together to have this webinar here tonight. That's what you guys are doing. You know what I mean? Is working together. But I think the greater outcome is going to be in the ideas that we have, and putting those ideas to work and make sure that there's enough support for it, which I don't think we're going to lack. I don't think there'll be any lack when it comes to supporting great ideas and causes for humanity. That's going to stand out, and that's where I think you can see people roll up their sleeves and people will come together for those causes. But as far as webinars in general, there was a time when we had that central webinar. Remember years ago when we had that central webinar, and everyone came, and and that was good, because it's good to have numbers, but sometimes having an intimate webinar has its place as well, right? Because you can have more people involved, more conversations get going, etc. So both is needed, right? You kind of want to be able to be flexible, so that for certain instances, like here, we're a small group here, but it doesn't matter the size of the group, right? It's the content, you know what I mean? It's the people, it's the vibe that we're feeling, you know what I mean? And so to me, this feels the same as if we had 10,000 people on here tonight. It's the same vibe as far as the quality, right? Quality always trump quantity, if you ask me, right? So it's always about the quality. We know that every single person's here tonight, again, the right mindset, and that's what you want. So I'd rather have a small, intimate group where we're all focused on the right things, saying the right things, being positive, all of that good stuff, as opposed to having, thousands of people. Then you have trolls and, all that comes with all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, but I think we're good. I think everyone is doing a great job in their own right. You know what I mean? And that's what we want to see. We want to see people be able to shine on their own, as well as come together when it's necessary, and then we shine together, right? But again, just keep in mind the collaboration with ideas going forward, okay?
Wow. Thank you, Brother Michael. Well said. Wow. Oh my goodness, you're just fired up tonight. But for now, I would pass it back on to our sister Joyce.
Thank you, Julie, so much for that question. That was just really that was really great. And Michael, I'm just like every time I hear you speak, I'm just overwhelmed, and I just get so excited. And
why is that? Why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah.
I don't, because you just bring the fire. I mean, and you're so down to earth. You bring the fire. You're just so calm, and you make everything just seem so seamless. And so I really love that about you. It's like you keep us grounded, and that's a good thing. So
I'm taking notes because I'm going to tell my wife. Right? I'm say, hey, I'm telling you, I was on this webinar tonight, and this is what they said about me. How comes you don't say that about me? What's going on?
My gosh.
So I got a pen. And
You
I got
are
paper.
too much, right? Well, don't tell her who said it. Like, we don't want her coming after us, right? Oh my, I love this. And I love, like you said, I love this, the platform, because it's just so relaxing. And, we come and we have fun, but yet we're getting so much knowledge, and we're just, going with it. And you just been talking about so many things that Julie and I were talking earlier, and we just had so many questions, but you answered, everything. You touched on so many things, and we're just grateful, and we're excited on tonight. And if there's anything else that you want to talk about, go right ahead, and we'll let you continue. If there's something that just really strikes right now that you want to say, we'll let you go ahead. And
I was thinking about $1 million. Right?
Okay.
I was thinking about that today for some reason, right? And I was thinking that you have people that, let's say they make $40,000 a year doing what they do, right? The average income in the U.S. is a little bit above that, maybe 46,000, somewhere around there a year. The average person in America makes, right? And so, yes, we know majority of the world make way less than that, right? On average, right? Way less. You probably have 130 countries that make way less than that, and you probably have maybe 30 countries that make in that vicinity or a little higher, right? So the bulk of the people, make less than that. But I was thinking about that. And I was thinking about people who spend 40 years working, right? 40 years, right? I've not been working for 40 years yet. Okay. So 40 years, right? And if you made, if you average 40,000, for those years, that's just $1.6 million, right? 40,000, multiply that by 40, yeah, $1.6 million, okay? But you say, oh, I made 1.6 million. That's not a lot of money, right? Because first of all, you probably didn't save any of it, right? You know what I mean, right? So it's not like say, oh, I worked 40 years and poof, I have a 1.6 million sitting there in this account. That's a different story, right? No, that 40,000 you're making every year, you're spending that money, right? You probably have to use some credit cards on top of it just to make ends meet, right? So, you probably end up at the 40 years, you probably still have some debt there hanging around, right? So you have people that's willing to do that. And I'm saying, I think of on passive, and I think of what have we done? You know what I mean? We haven't even spent $500. You know what I mean? Right? To think about this is a real business, and you haven't even spent $500 for your business, right? And yet you have the potential, right? You have the potential to make significant income, significant amount of money in a short period of time. Okay, let's say you're like me and you got involved, right? My join date, I believe, is like August 8th, 9th, something like that, right? Of 2018. So let's say you're like me, right? And so, okay, 6 years later. So what if by the end of 7 years, I generate $1 million? Isn't that better than me working 40 years, 40 hours a week, week after week, right? Year after year for 40 years and don't have nothing, like zero? You understand? What if that's my join date? And so 10 years in, so from 2018, add 10 years to that, I'm a multi-millionaire because of on passive, right? Like just think with me here. Isn't that better than me going to that job 40 hours a week, week after week, month after month, year after year, and after 40 years have zero, right? Now, it is said that the majority of people, by the time they reach age 65, they have less than $30,000 in their bank account. Okay? So think of yourself, think of your bank account, right? If you have not reached 65 yet, right? And think of what that's going to be like given your current situation. And if you have reached 65, think about your bank account, and you understand? Again, that's what it's said. Like that's the stats. You know what I mean? So can you imagine you're working all your life only to end up with nothing? Like you're not trying to be broke while you're working, are you? Like that's not the goal. You know what? Let me go get this job so I can be broke. You understand? That's not the idea. The idea is to let me go get this job so that I can live a good life, so that I can, one day be fun. There's a company here in, I don't know if they're still around or not, but it was called, they had well, it wasn't a product, but their concept was Freedom 55, right? It was a life insurance company called London Life. And that was their thing, Freedom 55, right? And that was such a hot slogan. People wanted Freedom 55. You know what I mean? Even though it wasn't a product, it's not something they can buy, right? It was a slogan, it was a concept, it was an idea, right? But people wanted that. You know what I mean? And it was a very successful slogan that this company had over the years, right? Because people don't want to work all their life. You know what I mean? If people could retire tomorrow, they would. They just can't, right? They just can't. If people could retire at age 30, they would. If they can retire at age 35, they would. You know what I mean? So 55 was kind of like, well, okay, like it's not too long, it's not too early. That should be enough time for you to do some things, accomplish some things, and then you can retire. But the reality is that people could not retire at 55. They can't even retire at 65. The government had to raise the retirement age. Okay, right? Because when people reach 65, they were not in a position to be able to retire. A lot of people don't think about the mechanics of when I retire, where does the income come from? So let's suppose I was making $40,000 a year, right? Now I retire, am I still making $40,000 a year? The answer is no. For most people, it's no, right? For most people, if they're dependent upon the government as far as pension goes, right? Or even if they had a company pension, right? When they combine those things, it's going to be less than while they were working. But here's the kicker. When you retire, chances are your expenses are actually going to be more than while you were working. You understand? Again, as you get older, again, everybody's different, but as you get older, medical stuff starts to kick in, the aches and pains, you know what I mean? The different sicknesses, right? All these things starts to happen. Some benefits that you used to have while you were working, you don't have those benefits no more, right? And all of that. It's not easy, folks. So for me, I'm thinking about this $1 million and saying, wow, can you imagine if every single person on passive was able to generate $1 million? I'm not saying $1 million a year. I'm not saying $1 million a month. I'm saying just $1 million. They have $1 million, right? Because the good thing is once you've made money, you can then take that money and let that money work for you, right? Put it in some good places, right? Some solid places, some secure places, right? Because when you've made that money now it's not about capital appreciation. You're not trying to grow that money anymore. Okay, so you're not trying to appreciate it. So you're not taking, unnecessary risk, let's say, right? So you take that money now and now you invest it more, secure. You understand me? More safe, right? So you're not going to take it, in other words, and go put it into a penny stock. You know what I mean? You're not going to go do that, right? But you get some blue chip. You get some stuff that, they've been there. They're pretty solid. You know what I mean? They're not going anywhere, right? There was a time where you could say the U.S. banks, but you can't even say the U.S. banks anymore because, right? They may also go by the wayside, right? So you want to put it in some secure stuff, right? You know what I mean? So can you imagine being able to generate that in a way shorter time than someone who's working year after year after year after year for 40 years? I was thinking about that today, and I'm saying that is such a reality. It is such a reality that we have a business model that it doesn't take much for us to generate something like that. It doesn't take much, right? Because what's the alternative? How can I go there and get $1 million? Well, if I found 1 million people to donate $1 to me, I have $1 million. Is that realistic? Are you going to find 1 million people that says, hey, I like you. You're a nice guy, Marty. Here's $1. You know what I mean? I find 1 million people. Here you go, Marty. Here's $1. Right? It's not realistic. It's not going to happen. Right? You understand? Okay. Well, maybe I find 100,000 people and they can donate $10 to me. Right? Okay. I don't think they love Marty that much to say, hey, here, Marty, here's $10 from 100,000. You know what I mean? Right? But guess what, though? We have a business whereby if you can make sales over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? It doesn't have to be from one product. You understand? You're making sales from O Connect. You're making sales from O Academy. You're making sales from O Tracker. You understand? O Domain. All these different products. You're making sales, 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 sales. Then you have repeat customers because it's based upon subscriptions, right? When you start to do the math, because like I said, I was thinking about this today. When you start to, that is so realistic, right? It's not far-fetched. And yet you have people that would rather exchange their time. Folks, are we working on passive 40 hours a week? Right? We're not. 8 hours a day? We're not. I know. Okay, I can speak for myself. I'm not. You know what I mean? Think about that though. Right? And then the amount of money that people actually spend to earn their income. Like people don't factor that in. You got to buy clothes, you know what I mean? Right? Transportation, right? The wear and tear on your vehicle. Like these are all expenses that it takes to generate your income. People don't factor that in when they're making their 40,000 or 80,000 or whatever it is. They don't factor that stuff in. But you have to factor that in though, right? It's a cost of you generating that income. So by the time you subtract all these costs that people don't factor in, you're not even making $40,000 a year, right? I'm not even going to factor taxes in because it depends on where people live. Not everything is the same. Okay, I know some of them Caribbean islands that they don't pay income tax, right? Right? I know they don't, right? Whereas if you're in Canada now, depending on what you make, you could half of your money goes to the government, right? So it's not the same. But the point that I'm making is looking at the two things. It's to looking at what people are willing to do, and they have no issue with it. They don't complain, right? Nothing. They just take it week after week, month after month, year after year. For 40 years, they take it, right? And then they come into on passive. Well, okay, yes, we can't access it. Oh my gosh, the sky's falling. They're freaking out. They're complaining. Oh, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's this, it's that. What's going on? Why this, if, and, but, right? But yet they go to this job week after week, month after month, year, and they don't complain, right? Stuck in traffic. You know what I mean? From where I am to get to Toronto takes a while, right? So if I had to go there to work, right? Like sitting in traffic. So can you imagine, let's say it takes an hour and a half to go, hour and a half to come back home. That's 3 hours. Plus the 8 hours that you work for. That's 11 hours. Plus the time that you have to get ready to go. You understand? You got to throw that in as well. That's 12 hours of your day gone because of this job that you've been doing week after week, month after month, year after year, for 40 years, only to still be broke. Where is the sense in that? And then you're showing people, said, listen, folks, this right here, this is walk away income. This is walk away income. This is what you need in order to be totally free. If you don't have this, you're going to reach retirement age and you're going to be still broke. It wouldn't be so bad if they weren't broke along the way. You understand? But you're broke along the way, you get to retirement and you're still broke. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. It just doesn't. You understand? So we have to realize what we have in this company, and that's why we fight. That's why we fight. That's why we stand up. That's why, we throw up our arms and we give our CEO a big hug, because he's fighting more than we are. You understand? He's the one that's really doing the fighting, right? We're just, the cheerleaders, right? Hey, come on, Ash. Come on, buddy. Hey, we love you. Come on, buddy. You know what I mean? We're just the cheerleaders. He's the one that's actually in there doing it, making it happen, right? Making the tough decisions, making the adjustments so that we have walk away income. You understand, folks? When we start to think about your current situation and where you're going to be 10 years from now, right? Without on passive, I'm talking about your current situation and where you're going to be 10 years from now without on passive. And then you compare that with on passive. Folks, you can't be anything but excited about the company that you're with, right? It's not a company that's going to disappear. Think of all the companies since July of 2018 till now. Think of all the companies that have disappeared, right? Maybe you were in some of them. Maybe you know people who were in some of them. Maybe you know people who lost thousands of dollars in some of them. You understand? Maybe it was a couple $100 in some of them. Whatever the case may be. Think about all of that, and it's not over. It's not over. Because come this year, there's going to be more companies disappearing. Come next year, there'll be more disappearing, and so on. You understand? But yet, we have a company that will not disappear. Because if on passive was going to disappear, it would have disappeared a long time ago. You understand? There's a reason why we're still here. There's a reason. You understand? So when we put all this together, folks, we have to love our company. We have to love the person that's fighting for us, right? We have to come together and support each other. You understand? Who am I going to go to for support? But the people that are in on passive. You know what I mean? If I'm feeling down, why would I not just jump on a webinar? Because chances are, no matter which webinar you jump on, your spirit is uplifted. You feel good. It's like, man, I'm glad I was here today. I'm glad I didn't miss this one, right? You can't say, well, you know what? When I go to work tomorrow, my boss is going to cheer me up. Because even if he gave you a raise, that raise ain't going to cheer you up. Oh, I got $1 raise today. So instead of me making $20 an hour, I'm making $21 an hour. Woohoo! You understand? And a lot of times it's not even $1 raise, right? Sometimes, they gave you a 60-cent raise. Like, really? And people get excited about that. Oh, guess what, dear? I got a raise today at work. You know what I mean? What they should be excited about, they're not. What they shouldn't be, that's what you understand? That's what the world's gone mad. Gone mad. This company right here, everyone should be knocking down the door saying, hey, let me in, let me in, let me in. That's what people should be doing. Because we need to have something. We need to have something that says, you know what? No matter what your skill level is, we got you. No matter what, right? If you wanted to be an engineer, could you go be an engineer? Right? You think you could take on thermodynamics and all them fancy stuff? You know what I mean? Right? If you wanted to be a doctor, right? Are you patient enough to go to school for 10 years? Right? Would you be able to understand all the technicalities, right? That comes within that field, understanding the human body and all these things, understanding different, pharmaceutical stuff, and you know what I mean? Right? Every profession is not for everybody, right? We all know that. You know what I mean? It's just not for everybody. And it doesn't have to be, a doctor, engineer, lawyer. It could be, I don't know, maybe your customer service. You may not be good at that job. You may not be good at working at McDonald's, right? I worked at McDonald's for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks. I wasn't good at it, right? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Right? So not everything is for everybody, right? Just isn't. But guess what? In On Passive, all of us has found a home. In On Passive, there's room for everyone. In On Passive, it doesn't matter the country you're from. In On Passive, it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter your skill level. That's a beautiful thing, folks, right? Because in every other company that's out there, your skill level matters. It matters. Every other company out there, your skill level matters. If you don't have the skill, you're not going to cut it. You're not going to make it, right? But yet in On Passive, well, okay, why is it that On Passive is the only company like that? It all starts with who runs the company, who's at the helm. It's not that these other companies can't do it. They just choose not to do it because it's a choice, right? It's not that they can't, right? But sometimes money isn't enough. They have the money to do it. They don't have the heart to do it. They don't have the will to do it. They don't have the desire to do it because they don't care about you or me. They don't care about us. Michael Jackson, right? They just don't care. It's so true, right? Think about that. You know what I mean? But the reality is we actually have someone who cares. First of all, we have a God who does care about us, first and foremost, right? And then we have a CEO who cares about us, and we have great founders who care about each other, right? That's why we support each other. So how can you lose with that formula? Very difficult, folks. Very difficult to lose. You understand? So anyways, we've been here for a while. Send it back to Julie, Joyce, Debbie, anyone? Send it back to you.
Oh, Michael, oh my gosh. I mean, you could talk all night, so it's like that's
Unfortunately, yeah.
all right. Hey, we'd be here listening. You talked about the $1 million. That was just mind blowing, mind boggling. And when you think about when you said that, it just brought something to me. So my husband retired. He worked 45 years, and he retired. And you know what he got? A nice watch.
Hey, you can tell the
Yeah,
time.
like wow. And when you said that, it's amazing because that's a reality. It happens, and you retire, and you turn that age, and you think you worked all that time, you made that money, but you don't have that money because like you said, in life, you have to to live. And with that money that you make, you have to live. But that is just a true story. It's so true. It's just, it hits home. It's like, you work all those years, and you don't have anything to show for it. And like you say, you're living and you're working, and then boom, at the end of it, you retire. He retired at 62, and then bam, there it is, a nice watch, and see you later. And then you have Social Security and a pension, and and you're living on, whoa, so much less than what you were making. And like you say, and you don't think about that. A lot of people don't think about that when you retire. Where's the money going to come from? And you have, so many other things. So that was phenomenal. And, that's a lot that we have to think about. We have this business here, Ash, that's willing to do all this for us and fight for us that we can have. Like you said, you've been in this company for 6 years. And what happens at the end of 7 years? You make $1 million. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's just worth being here, worth sitting. It's worth every, $97 that we spent, right? And
what if you live in India, right?
Mm-hmm.
You live in India, and at the end of 7 years, hey, I'm making $10,000 a year in income, 10,000 US dollars a year in income.
Amazing.
Can you imagine? Right? Now, again, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So just in case we have some Indian founders here tonight, and I'm just saying, right? It's just an example. I'm just saying, right? The point is that we have something that is special. We have something that is going to deliver. We have something that's going to get every single one of us into a position where we can help other people, right? That is something, right? That is something for us to cherish, because to me, that's what life is about. Life is about helping other people. Life isn't about being selfish. Life isn't about me, 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 me. Look at me, I'm rich, I'm this, I'm that, blah, 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 right? That's not life. You know what I mean? In life, you want to be able to enjoy it with other people. Okay? And so if you're all in similar positions, how much more fun is life? So if I say, hey, Julie Pierre, my sister, guess what? We're coming down. So I expect you to take care of us, show us around, all the good stuff. You know what I mean? And she's in a position that no problem, I got you, right? If I decide to jump on the plane and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to Cameroon. You know what I mean? Okay, I expect that we have some founders that are there that can say, hey, we got you. You know what I mean? We're going to make sure you're taking care of all the right spots, because there's a difference, right? There's a difference when you go somewhere and you're just doing like the touristy thing, right? Like there's a difference. You don't actually get to experience the place, right? That if you went with someone who's, they actually live there, you know what I mean? So they know the ins and outs, they know the spots. You understand? There's a difference, right? And so when we have founders all over the place, right? The Philippines, right? Imagine going over there. You understand? Vietnam, like wherever, right? Just knowing that we have founders in Papua New Guinea. So if you go to PNG, you're well taken care of. You understand, folks? That's living. You want to be around people that are in the same circle as yourself, right? It is what it is. If you are a millionaire, you not necessarily want to run around with a whole bunch of people that are, making $1,000 a year income. You know what I mean? It's not going to be the same, right? It's not going to be the same. But hey, if I'm making $100,000 a year and I have a whole bunch of people just like myself that's making 100, you know what I mean? Things is different. It's not the same. It's different. So that's what we want to see. We want to see people, having access whereby money's no longer an issue. You understand? So if we go to a restaurant, anybody around that table can pick up the tab. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be that one person, right? It's like anyone can pick up this. Why? Because you have access, right? It's not an issue for you to do that, right? Say, hey guys, we're going on a cruise. You know what I mean? And so all of a sudden now we actually have to book up the cruise ship ourselves because there's so many of us have the ability to go and not have to rush back because we're tied to a job. You know what I mean? I was talking to a friend of mine and she's like, yeah, at the most she can go away for maybe 2 months, but then she has to come back because her business will not survive if she's gone for longer than 2 months. You know what I mean? Okay, that's people's reality. And 2 months is a long time because most people, your job, because they're not business owners, their job, you know what I mean, is not going to afford you 2 months vacation.
That's right.
Unless you're a teacher, you know what I mean? You get your summers off, right? But for most people, you know what I mean? You may get, I don't know, a week off, 2 weeks vacation, whatever, right? It's not a long time. But to be in that position though, oh my goodness, right? If I want to jump from here and say I'm coming to Chicago, I'm sure we're going to find some founders that are over there and then make sure that I'm not going into a bad part of Chicago. You know what I mean? Because there's good parts and there's bad parts, right? Okay, right? Same thing in, you go to LA or whatever, right? I go to California, right? I probably want to go to Orange County. You know what I mean? Right? There's some certain places that I'm just not going to venture to, right? So that's what we're talking about, folks, to be in a position where you can actually live life, you know what I mean? Instead of just existing, right? Too many people, just exist. You're just there. You have not experienced anything. You have people who've never left the city they were born in, never left it. You know what I mean? Not even within the country itself, like just never left that city. You know what I mean? Like, how is that living though? Never experienced traveling overseas, going to a different country, never experienced that. How is that living, right? Folks, there is so much to life. Like, there's so much to it, right? Okay, you think God gave you this big planet and say, hey, Joyce, all you can do is to live right here in this one city and that's it. The rest of the planet is not yours. You know what I mean? Of course not. There's just so much to discover. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying to be crazy now. As I already told you about bungee jumping. Okay, so I ain't saying to be crazy, right? But there's so much to explore, so much to enjoy on this planet right now, right the way it is. It's not all doom and gloom. You know what I mean? There's some good stuff. There's good people. We have lots of them here in On Passive, right? Great individuals. But now being in a position where money is no longer an issue, now you can start living. And I think so many people are looking forward to that.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh my goodness. Michael, you're just on fire. You're just have us on our P's and Q's and we're listening. We're, oh my goodness, engrossed and taking in all of what the good stuff you're sharing with us tonight. You spoke of our CEO, and some of us know that he's given sweat and blood so far, thus far, for us in On Passive. The transparent manner we all have seen our CEO, Mr. Ash, is compared to none ever seen in corporate businesses. Yet some users think our CEO, Mr. Ash, is not good enough, or they would not believe him that On Passive is here to stay, that it is a done deal. That subjective mindset perception is difficult to break through in some cases. How can we better learn and understand him as we listen to him across the different platforms and webinars when he comes to share updates with everyone?
Oh, you're asking me a question? I I thought Q&A was over. Oh wow. You know what? You're gonna have to repeat that because I was multitasking and I'm not good at it. So
Okay, in short, I was saying that Mr. Ashman Farah has given sweat and blood for us in On Passives thus far. And yet still we have some founders who do not believe in him. They do not believe in On Passive. So I'm asking, how can we better learn to understand him as we listen to him across those platforms and webinars when he comes to share updates with us?
okay. So it's the folks who don't believe or don't the folks who don't believe, it's not because they don't understand, right? Like that's not a reason why they don't believe. You know what I mean? For some people, the only thing it's going to take or what it's going to take for them to actually believe is when they see money in their pocket. You understand? If they don't see money in their pocket, they don't believe, right? That's how some people are wired. You know what I mean? And that's why it has to be more than the money, because that part is taken care of. The money will come. There's no doubt in my mind that part is taken care of. It has to be more than that, though, right? So to me, you have people who believe and you have those who don't believe. I don't think there's anything that we need to understand when he comes and he, speaks to us. I don't think it's anything that needs to be deciphered. I don't think he's speaking in codes. Take it at face value. It is what it is. And I think if you actually believe in the idea, if you believe in the mission, if you believe in the vision, because there's a reason why you got in, right? You got in for a reason. So are you telling me, and I'm not speaking directly at you, okay, just so you know, right? Are you telling me that all of a sudden now the reason why you got in has changed, right? It's like, well, I got in because I wanted a business that's going to provide me with income, blah, 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 right? And then all of a sudden now it hasn't changed, right? It's you still have that same reason within you as to why you got in. It's a matter of, do you believe that it will come to pass? Do you believe that you'll be able to receive the rewards that you are expecting? You understand? At some point, right? And so to me, the fact that we're still here, it means that hope is alive. The fact that we're still here, the fact that this company is still here, right? When so many others, as I mentioned earlier, has gone by the wayside, but here we are still, right? Here our CEO is still here. You understand? Coming to us on a regular basis, right? When he doesn't have to, like, he doesn't have to come this week, last week, the week before. Doesn't have to. It's not a must. Yes, there are some folks who want to see him every day, right? There are some folks, if they don't see him for a week, they're like, oh, what's going on? Blah, blah, right? And then there are others that they just continue to do their webinars. They just continue to do what they've been doing, you know what I mean? Knowing that we're in good hands, right? So I don't think it's anything that we can do to try and understand it more. I just think that you have some people who believe and some people just don't believe. And there's not much that we can do to convince them. Because if I convince you today, I'm going to have to convince you tomorrow. And if it's not tomorrow, it's going to be next week. And if it's not next week, it's going to be the week after that. You understand me? Right? It has to come from within. You have to be able to look, see, and then you make up your mind as to whether you believe or not. If you look at everything from day one up until now, right? Everything that I see points to me that success is ours. You understand? Why? Not because, okay, we got to connect and we're able to use it. It's when you look at the quality of the person that's running the ship. You understand me? That's what you have to look at, right? This is not somebody who's fragile. This is not somebody who's squirmish. You know what I mean? This is not somebody who's lacking, right? This is someone that is bold, right? This man still stick to do it or die, right? When you look at that person, to me, right, everyone should be able to see someone who's sincere, right? They should be able to see someone that says, wait a minute, this guy, he's not ordinary. You know what I mean? Because there's, folks, you have to understand, if somebody wants to scam you, let me just tell you this in case you don't know it. If somebody wants to scam you, they're going to scam you. You understand? Right? Not because somebody comes and they give you, 50 pages of documents and you understand me? That means, okay, that must be legit, right? Not because the person comes and they're in three-piece suit and looking all sharp and smart and rich and all. That means squat. You understand, folks? You have to be able to see beyond sight. Don't look at what you see on the outside. You have to be able to, reach into that person's soul, reach into their spirit, see what they're about, right? And you see what they're about by their actions, how they conduct themselves. It's their actions is what let you know what they're about. You understand me? right? Is that someone who lacked confidence, right? And again, I'm not talking about somebody who's a show off and, because people can fake it, but you can only fake for so long, folks. That's what you have to understand. You can't fake it forever. You can only fake it for so long. And usually people can't fake it for 6 years. You understand? That's why these companies disappear, because they're faking it. And then it's like, oh, in 6 months, they're found out. In 90 days, they're found out. In a year, you know what I mean? What they have wasn't solid, so it disappears. So you can't look at that. And so that's what we do. We judge people based upon our past experience. We judge people based upon what we know. You understand? And we don't try to say, you know what? Let me separate myself, right? Let me not be biased. Okay, yeah, I love you, but not because I love you doesn't mean that I can't judge you. You understand? But let me judge you based upon facts, though, not based upon feelings, not based upon, I like you today, tomorrow I don't like you. That's just emotions, right? That's not facts, right? So I like to look at facts. And again, you get these things when you go through some stuff, folks, you start to become wiser, okay, right, as you go along. You know what I mean? If you haven't gone through anything, chances are you're not a wise person, okay? Because you need to go through some stuff to become wiser, right? Let me put it that way, right? Because you have people, you have wolves in sheep clothing, okay? That it is real. You have some people out there that, oh yeah, I love you, blah, 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 and they're the first one to stab you in your back. You know what I mean? That's real talk, right? That's the world that we live in. You have someone that comes to your house and they're sitting down eating dinner with you, okay? And they don't like a bone in your body. You understand? Right? The minute they get a chance to talk behind your back, they're doing it. That's real life. Right? I'm sure some of you probably can, relate to what I'm saying. It's real life, right? So for me, right, we just have to look at what our CEO says, how he says it, you know what I mean? And how he's putting himself and his family on the chopping block. He's putting himself in the fire, right? He's not taking a back seat. He's not saying, you know what, let me get a spokesperson and let them come and talk to you guys. Like, he's coming. You know what I mean? And you don't think he hears stuff? Of course he does. You understand me? Right? You don't think that he's not someone that can see a person's true color? Right? He's very loving, he's very caring, he's very trusting. Right? And he'll trust you until you give him a reason not to trust you. You understand? Right? And that's how I operate. I will trust you until you give me a reason not to. And so because you have that spirit, sometimes you will get burnt, right? You know what I mean? Because if I love you, Joyce, you know what I mean? And I trust you and I bring you into my home and I bring you amongst my family, right? I trust you. But the day that you lose that trust, like, you're not getting it back. You know what I mean? It don't mean that we can't talk. It don't mean that we can't say hi and all that stuff. Okay, but you're not gonna have that same level of trust again. You understand? Because it is once bitten, twice shy. Absolutely. Right? That's just, unfortunately, that's how we have to be in this world. Right? I'm not saying that you can't forgive somebody. Absolutely forgive. Right? But then you have to be wise, though. You know what I mean? Somebody slaps you in the face, you're not going to say, hey, slap me again. You know what I mean? Because that slap could hurt, right? You know what I mean? Right? Hey, if Engineer Mike slap you, you won't feel it. You know what I mean? Right? So, we have to be mindful. So yeah, it's not about, trying to understand and all of that. It's either people believe or they don't believe. And there's nothing that we can do to control whether they believe or not. It's not about coming and give them a word, you know what I mean? And that word is going to make them, no, right? No, right? Even on passive, if you don't believe, you're still going to win. That's the irony of it, really, right? You can have people who are non-believers, But as long as they stay the course, they still win. They still win.
And we're staying the course. We're keeping the faith. And like you said, we're going to trust. We're going to believe. We're here. We're in it to win it. We are committed to the cause. We're committed to the movement. We're committed to I'm passive. And we have this beautiful thing here, and we're not letting go. There's no way that we're turning back. It's like we're right there, and there's nothing that's going to stop us. So we're loving this, Michael. We're loving the conversations. We're loving it. We're going to give you a break here for a moment, and I'm going to ask Dr. Benny to come on. Someone had something in the comment. And we're going to ask her to come and read the comment for us, and then after Dr. Benny, we'll turn it right over to our dear sister Debbie, and she will take it over from there. Thank you, Dr. Benny. Thank you, Michael, so much. We love you. We've enjoyed you on tonight. You just brought so much value, so much fire. You've educated us. You've enlightened us. You've kept us excited. You've kept us on our seats, on our toes. And, we're fired up now. And oh my gosh, this journey is just amazing. And, and as Ashit said, like 90% of the way we're there, we just have just a few more things to go. And wow, like you said, it's just going to be mind boggling. It's just going to explode, and it's just going to blow our minds completely. Our lives are going to change forever, for the better, for the good. And we'll be able to help so many people that we've wanted to, the things that we've been wanting to do all this time and all these years it's right there, right within our reach. So don't give up, don't quit, stay positive, stay connected, stay committed, follow your heart, follow your passion. And when someone comes to you with something negative, shut them down. That's all you have to do is say, I am not a garbage can, so you cannot bring your junk to me. Take it somewhere else because I am not hearing it. I'm not listening, and so you have the ability to do that. You have a choice every single day. For every person that comes to you, you have a choice to tell them, hey, that's not me. And I'm a positive person. I'm like, for myself, if you come to me with negativity, I'm basically going to shut you down because I don't want to hear it. I mean, nobody wants to hear it, so it doesn't do anyone good. Stay positive, stay connected. Dr. Benny, go right ahead and go ahead and read the comment. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Before I read this comment, I really want to appreciate Brother Michael Williams M. You keep talking about God. Look, I never knew I would hear this. I'm so thrilled listening to you talking about our Heavenly Father. When you talk about him, I smile. But anyway, thank you for coming. I just want to read something from this comment from Queen Kamla. Great discussion, Brother Michael. Wow, you are on fire. You put it in simple way, so readable and real. I am fired up more than ever. The opportunity is for everyone, but not all jobs are for everyone because the skills level matters. OnPassive has made the choice, desire to make it for everyone. No skills requirement to join. I have a friend who has worked with a company for 26 years. And to say thank you, they were gifted a face cap. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this is from Queen Kanla. Then we have this from Queen Mitalin. Thank you so much, Brother Michael. You always give us great encouragement, great discussion. Thank you again.
Sister Debbie, it's on you. Go right ahead and take over. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Wow, Sister Joyce, thank you so much. My neighbor from Michigan. Michigan and Illinois are neighbors, whether we like it or not. Queen Sister Dr. Benny, thank you. Thank you, Sister Joyce. Brother Michael, thank you. Next time I come to Toronto, or I'm planning on coming there, I will tell you in advance. That is settled.
Yeah,
Brother Chris, it's an honor to see you. All
I
right.
just promised Julie I'd stop by and say hi to Michael Williams. I'm trying to figure out who this Michael Williams guy is. Everyone's talking about him. I don't know who he is. Oh, Michael Williams. Now I know who he is. Hi, Michael.
Hey, I think you're gonna be my GM.
I'm actually on Omino and Julie right now. They're probably hearing me talk on the other one, and I'm saying I said I told her that when I got home late, I got to stop by and at least say hi. So, hi everybody. I will try to make this webinar a little bit more. I got a couple things that are taking a lot of my time up at nighttime and in the morning, but I promise you I will get on here and listen to all you guys talk, because number one, I always like hearing Mike talk, but I see all my favorites are on here, and that's all of you. I don't like picking names, but I know that Ivy Mix is on here. She knows I love her, and everyone else is on here. But it's nice to see you all, and I don't want to interrupt. Go continue with your show. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you so much, Chris. You sound like a tweenie, and you said you didn't want to pick, but you did pick, and you mentioned a name. I'll hold you to that. But thank you so much for sharing us, because that's who you are. You always share. You share, that's a true parent never picks. You tell all your kids you love them equally because you got them. So you have to love them equally. And that love is unconditional. You cannot tell Minu that you love her more than you love Julie Pierre. That's a
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I don't know.
Me and Julie have
I
one of
got
those.
3 of them. And I don't know. I'm like, you know what? You're my favorite. And I tell them, I say, you're my favorite. Right?
It depends how
I
many
tell
points they scored, right, Mike? Who got the highest points that game?
I said, that's why you're my favorite, right? But I always make sure I rotate it though, so it's all good.
Well, thank you, my dear brothers. You're all the best. You're the best, Brother Michael, Brother Chris. Thank you. I'm going to call on our Queen Sister, darling Dr. Patience, because I know she coordinates a lot of things, and I want to hear what her thoughts are in terms of tonight and us being here with Brother Michael. Over to you, sis.
I think the topic was what? On fire with Michael William Innes. Oh boy, were you on fire. This place was burning today, burning hot. What a great webinar. And I'm always the one that comes and says, Brother Michael, I've heard it. Oh, can you give us something to take home? But I think today, my brother, I'm going to spare you. If I'm going to spare, I'm not going to ask you for anything to take home. You have given us a lot. Yes, I'm laughing because that's the best thing to do when you have kids, right? When it comes to be, you're my favorite, just everybody knows, but that's I'm the favorite, but that's I'm the favorite. Did they realize all of them are the favorite? Yes, we all want to be in some way. You talk about a retirement, working for 20, 40 years. I don't want to say how long I've been in my company. Sometimes I really ashamed myself, so I'm still there like this time. But one of my colleagues actually just retired. And I had to plead for us to take him out for lunch. He's been there for more than 30 years. A lot of approval, FDA approval under his belt. And I have to ask for us to take him out for lunch. So this is true, people. It is true. You work and the people at the top take it and put it in their pocket. But as you've heard our brother today, that's not our CEO. That is not our CEO. And life is going to be boring if you're the only one at the top. You've said this so many times. Because even if you have billions and you're the only one picking up the tab, you get tired. Because we are human. Like, why can't somebody else pay, even though you can afford it, right? Just that's how we are wired as human beings. And that's why we want to go up to the top together. So even when Queen Debbie wants to go to Toronto with an entourage, because I know when it means you're going with the royalty in Cameroon, I'm telling you, Mike, it's a whole, it's really an entourage. We'll be ready to handle them because we'll be ready to handle them. And you said something, you've shared on different platforms before, you've shared before, about not thinking about wanting to get something, and you think about the dollars. Or for me, my credit card cycle, when does it start? I'm really tired to be for money to be a slave to money. I really want to free myself. Thank you, Brother Michael, for always encouraging us. As I said, I was going to come and say, give me something to take home. But today, I'm just going to say thank you. You really was on fire. The topic went with the way it was delivered. Queen Julie and Queen Joyce, thank you for coordinating the question. You brought questions. You always challenge Brother Michael when it comes to all these questions. He said it was a PhD question. I'm like, oh, I had to put my camera on because I'm not that smart. But you delivered it in a way that all of us can understand. As you said, there's a season for everything. This is a season for us not to use O Connect. Let's just wait. It's going to happen. And thank you for encouraging us. Thank you for coming on this platform. Julie's platform is for us to learn and encourage. And you did that today. I learned a lot. I'm going to shout, as I said, I was going to ask him to give me a take home, but I'm not going to do that tonight to him. Thank you, Brother Michael, for your love, for your support, for really just being on fire. We are now going to be on fire. So I will need a host to host me down after this night. Great job, ladies. Over to you, Queen Debbie.
Thank you, Sister P. Don't worry. The pipe hose is right there because I'm going to pass it over to Dr. John to tell us how he's going to quench that fire, because the fire was lit by by Brother Michael. So, if you are telling me you're on fire, I need someone to calm it down so we are ready for the next time we have Brother Michael with us, and then we'll go to our other Queen sisters. Over to you, Dr. John.
Wow. When you called, I wasn't even prepared for this. And the way Brother Michael sort of got us going, I was just going to start by saying, and no stopping us now. Okay, so I'm going to stop there before I can call to stop.
Don't give up your day job, please.
Before I'm told to not give my day job. But honestly, I attend a lot of the webinars, and I'll be very sincere to say, when our CEO used to have those corporate webinars and come out with a lot of the mindsets in the beginning, I used to actually write copious notes, and I'll write like 3-4 pages of notes. And for a long time, I have actually not been writing notes. And today, I actually got my notebook here, and I have 3.5 pages of notes. The first page is full of the 10 points on just how to rise above adversity. And this is like, Queen Julie, I really want to thank you for that, because I actually am experiencing, not personally, but within our community here, there are people that are actually right in the middle of the storm. It's actually affecting their health. It's affecting the family unity. And I just sat down here, and as you were going through these points and I was writing them down, the first thought that came to mind was, I'm going to actually write them out and share with a few people, and not really just hand it over, but use it as a point of discussion. This is what OnPassive can give. If we actually see that, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this, and I just say, this is not really, it's got nothing to do with whether $97 I came to OnPassive hoping that I was coming to make some small money. But if you think of what this just actually done to me and what I think he's gonna do to other people, I wanna say thank you for that. And when Brother Michael came up and started talking, the first phrase that I got from him was this, that it's not about me, it's all about you. And then for the next hour, he just opened up, and it was just really all about us. And he just threw all these wonderful things that I just kept writing and writing and writing. And then I put asterisks against some of the points. And I just left out the saying there that the ultimate goal of OnPassive is to be able to let us who really believe and stay in it, even those who don't believe, but those who stay, to be able to actually have a walk-away income. Why? Because, as he rightly says, the company has the vision, the ideas, the mission to actually make everybody succeed. And this is not normal. Any of us who's worked in corporate America, any of us who has worked with other people, any of us who's gone out there and tried to go ahead, will always find out that as soon as you try to take a step, you slip and fall or you're knocked down. And here we are blessed, extremely blessed, as our brother shared, that, you know, his story about the anecdote that he gave, which was not, I don't think it's a true story, but about being beaten up when he was young. But if you really got it, what he was basically saying is a normal person would have sort of just said, you know what, guys, I gave it my best shot and it didn't work. How many of us have lost money without anybody really telling us anything? But we are blessed that we have a CEO who is not a whim, and he is prepared to be in there in the ring. He is prepared to take all the punches, the abuses for both himself and his family. And really, all he's asking us to be the cheerleaders out there. And what we can just do, as somebody, as a sister asked the question, what can we do to listen to him? I think all we can do is just keep our own hope high, stay the course, and really be a cheerleader for our CEO, because I don't envy what he's going through, not for himself, but for us. And I really, really, really want to thank Brother Michael for really bringing these things out very clearly and succinctly to us, because sometimes it's very easy to just float around and not really take a step and think about them. And I really, really feel blessed, and I'm honored to be here this evening. I love this platform, you guys know that. And I really can't wait for when we'll have another dose of this upliftment. Thank you very much. And I want to stop here and pass it back to you, Queen.
Thank you, Dr. John.
Queen
Oh, wow.
Debbie, can
You've
I
said
just
it
say
all.
something before you take it over?
Yes, please proceed.
Sorry, I forgot to say this. Brother Michael said when somebody slap you, you will not want the second slap. But I thought the good book said if you slap the left side, turn the right. So I want to make that joke and I forgot that.
Thank you, Sister Dr. P. Dr. John, thank you as well. And remember, in every group, in every society, you always have the doubting Thomases, right? And that is, even in the family, you have it. It's something that is ingrained in us. It's not easy to just fish it out. We have to find a way to deal with them, because that's life. You know, you have your 5 fingers. On one hand, one works properly. On the other hand, the other fingers don't work properly. And you have to find a way to make them work. Both hands belong to you. Those doubting Thomases belong to us as a family, as a society. So we move along with them in whatever we do. We pray and ask for grace. And in several cases, we are blessed with those graces. And tonight, we see some of the faces that are like inspirations to us, like encouraging and always supportive, regardless of what happens. They're always there to support us in every forum, every time that we need them. I know we have Sister Ivy Mix. We had Engineer Mike back and forth. I don't know if Engineer Mike is around. Okay, I don't know if
Queen Debbie is driving. I don't know why he can talk.
Oh, he's behind the wheel. Okay. Queen Sister Ivy, you're so welcome. It's an honor to have you.
I can talk before Mama Ivy. Let me talk before. If maybe I can be driving and I get off connection, please.
Okay, please, Engineer Mike. I was going to call you, but I wasn't sure until I know you're behind the wheel.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mama Debbie. Thank you, all our great people. The great family is here. It's always an honor to be with our big bro. Thanks always. Okay, thank you, Mama Ivy. We are so pleased to have you every time, anywhere you are. That's why you are a role model to us, because you break it down to us in such a way that we have learned so much. And right now, I can say I can be a CMU in the marketing aspect. So thank you very much for your knowledge. You're always sacrificing for us. You know, it's not everybody who is willing to do that. I've contacted so many people sometimes they don't even want to talk to you, but you have always been here to give us free knowledge, which you can't buy with money, right? If I was doing a like let me say a business management course in the University of Harvard, then I could say I can be an A student because of the knowledge that I've gotten from you. So our sister Julie Pierre, thank you for your mindset. That was awesome. And we just want to say thank you for this platform that all of us come here every day to empower ourselves and to learn. Remember, I always learn, right? I always tell people I learn a lot. And Dr. John, thank you for taking down the notes. I will surely check with you sometime to get some of it because it is enriching. For our sister, Dr. Pat, thank you as always. Ivy Mix, thank you, Mama Ivy. Thank you, our Queen Joyce Hicks for the moderation. And the First Lady of Unpassive, Dr. Benny Blessing Tinglet, my best friend. Thank you, everybody. I wish you a good webinar as we go towards the end. And thank you, Brother Michael Williams. Thank you.
Awesome, Engineer Mike. Thank you very much. We know you're behind the wheel, but when there's a will, there's a way, right? You were with us right from the beginning, and you're still here with us. And our brother Michael, when he's here, everywhere he goes, he gives us his undivided attention. We are so honored and blessed to have you. So at this stage, I'm going to call on Mama Ivy, and I see that after Mama Ivy, I was going to call on Brother Mamodu because he's been here with us right from the beginning. Oh, Brother Kumaran from Malaysia will come after Brother Queen Ivy. What? Queen Ivy, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
I could not open the mic. Yeah, I got it now.
All right, please proceed. And then I know Malaysia is a time difference. He was here at the beginning with us as well. So, Brother Kumaran, after Sister Ivy, Brother Kumaran, you're up next. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to speak. I was hiding behind the cameras, and I also felt that if somebody invites you to their, you should show up. There are times I can't. I think some of you knew I had a surgery, so most of the time my leg is in, stuff. But I just want to say thank you. And Chris said hello to all of us. I think maybe he wanted to mention everybody's name, and I mentioned everybody's name. I just want to say thank you, Michael Williams. You're my inspiration. When I say it's from the heart. There are times when I'm being invited to speak, I have to go and get fire from you. I'll go listen to your tape. I'll go listen to your voice. Your voice has the sound of, when I say the sound of the sound of, when I say it respectfully, we say somebody has a sound from heaven, sound from God. It's a voice that is true, so it sticks. It's a voice that changes the heart. Some people, when they speak, even when you doubt, it can help you. That's how I feel. When you talk, I don't have any doubts anyway, but let me tell you something. Your conviction and the things every time I get the chance, I'll be listening maybe in the background. This week I was on Dream Team, and your heart, you talk with your heart. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for so many people. You've helped us. There are days that we don't know what to do. We're just human, But like this evening, after hearing you, I also want the notes from Dr. John. I have to go listen a second time. The Bible says God called Abraham a second time from heaven. That second time is very important. At times you have to go back to listen. So I just want to say thank you. I want to thank Sister Julie Pierre. Here is where we come to, it's intimate, just like Michael said. And Michael has answered a very big question on my heart tonight. So many will be saying, oh, why don't you have your own? I said, no, I don't know. I don't know anything about. I'm so scared to talk. At times, it's hard to tell people that when I'm called to talk, I'll be shaking. It's my husband that talks. When we are together, he talks. I don't say a word. I have to, at times he puts himself on timeout. I've talked too much, but it's you answer the question on my heart that how can I be part of everybody? How can you answered it tonight. You said the things that we do, people could collaborate with us, So if you have an idea, people could join up with that. You've answered that question for me because I'll be too scared to have a show by myself. Trust me. Trust me. I always tell Dr. Pat, I say, Dr. Pat, I just want to come and give my support, give my heart. I don't have to speak. I just want to be in the corner, So it's all my love that I bring all my love, all my heart to everybody all the time. And tonight, I just love on everybody. And I just want to say, Julie Pierre, I honor you for this great platform that you've put on. And I want to say good night to everybody.
Thank you very much, Sister Ivy. And we're so glad that you did recuperate from your surgery. Otherwise, we would not be having this fun night with you. Thank you very much for sharing your time with all the platforms that you get the opportunity to join. We very much appreciate you and we look forward to having you in every platform whenever your schedule permits.
Thank you.
All right, Brother Kumaran, how is Malaysia, Singapore? Welcome. And after you, Brother Mamodu, if you're still here, then I'll pass it over to my next sister. Brother Kumaran, over to you. Welcome.
Thank you, Sister Debbie. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. We can hear you.
So, right, every morning here is about 10, almost 10:30, 10:51 now. So every morning now I'll be listening. I told Dr. Penny I'm listening. But today, Brother Michael, you make me fire. I was in the car, I was driving, you make me, I cannot sit, my seat got fire. So I take a break, I came back home just to acknowledge, to join, and it's true what our CEO said. There's one time he mentioned that his brain is Michael Williams, and it's true now that oh my God, certain things that what our CEO don't want to mention, you will come and you will clarify. We get all the answers from you. So there's one part that I really make me goosebumps. That's why I want to come and remember you say about the scam, right? And the company. If On Passive want to scam us, I still remember in 2021 when we migrated from from Go Founder to O Founder. Remember, about 1 million founders there were already there. About 1 million founders. If our CEO want to scam us, that's the time. We all migrated, and you remember a few days, too many input, and our system went down, right? That's it. All the scam company will disappear. They will keep on telling something wrong with the system, something wrong, or the on too much. Okay, this is what all the scam company will do. From our past experience in Malaysia, in Asia, this is what will happen. But after that, Burj Khalifa came, the World Cup, and from there itself we know, and it's it's real. It's real. He's doing all his best, what is promised to us. So I just want to, you want to miss this point, I just want to add in to our brother Michael William, because this is what I will tell all my friends here, founders in Asia and Malaysia. They when called a CAM company disappear in 2021. That's what they will have done, because you just imagine $97 times with 1 million, you know, that is what it will happen. But OCO is here, like always. Dr. Benny will say, is our the creation of the God. So thank you, Sister Julie, and again thank you, Brother William, Michael William. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Kumaran. You're always with us in every platform that we have, webinars, day or night, afternoon, be it here, Deep Dive, Dream Team, and your own Singapore, Malaysia, you're always with us. We appreciate your time. With the time difference, you're always there. Thank you so much. This is Empowering Humanity, Julie Pierre, Empowering Humanity, and this platform is actually empowering us more than we give ourselves the credit for, because no matter the time of day or whatever, we always have people here supporting us. And at this point, I'm going to call on Brother Mamadou Jallo if he's available, because he's been around and had his hand up. If not, I'm going to.
And I am around, Sister
Okay.
Debbie. I'm looking at you right here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my lovely family. I just want to thank Brother Michael. Oh my goodness. Brother Michael, thank you very much for always gracing us your precious time. You know, since 2020, when I became a founding member, I started listening from you. You know, the education you've impacted in my life with regards to my business on passive, you know, I can't describe it. You know, as you rightly said, we need on passive. Why we need on passive? On passive is something you need. It's not that something you want, you know, because needs and want are two different things. You know, passive is necessary in our lives because everything we are doing, it has a disadvantage in our lives. Even for me, I'm working 2 jobs, morning and evening, every day. But believe me, if I want to take off, I don't have that luxury unless they grant it to me. If anything that I want to do, even the money that I'm working, I can't get it the way I'm supposed to. So everything we are doing in this world is a disadvantage to us. But thank God passive came, that we don't have to do nothing. The only thing we have to do is to know how it is running, how the business is running. You know, we don't have to do anything. So we really need passive. And thank God we are fortunate to be part of it. And for those who are not, please, if you are listening, you have the opportunity to listen to these webinars. Please find a way to be in, because this is the only thing we need in this world. Forget about your 9-to-5 job or your something. Yes, you can do those jobs, but believe me, what you are doing them for, you won't get the reward. But if you are in passive, you will get everything that you deserve. So thank you very much. And for Queen Julie, thank you for your mindset as always. And for everybody that has been in this webinar tonight and all the time, thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you, Brother Mamadou. We appreciate you. I'm surprised you're doing only 2 jobs now. I thought you worked 24/7.
I've been always doing 2 jobs. Forget about Dr. Derek. He gave me another 3. It's a 5 jobs. Oh, you meet yourself.
With Passive, you're not going to be doing any 24/7 jobs. I can assure you that.
I know.
That is from one of our able brothers, so there's no need to emphasize that any further. So at this stage, I'm going to call on Queen Dr. Benny to do what she does best. And then from there, we'll go to Queen Sister Julie Pierre, and then in that order. Over to you, Dr. Benny, and thank you.
Thank you, Queen Debbie. Before I say anything, I need to read something from Pat Parent. This is really an acknowledgement, which is important. However, I'm reading, this is what she wrote. However, it's important to acknowledge the potential challenges that comes with being stabilizer, such as educating the market about a new paradigm, addressing skepticism or resistance to change, continuously innovating to stay ahead of the curve. Unpassive can and will successfully navigate the challenges. They may indeed be poised to make a significant impact and create a new standard for the industry. Unpassive is the only pioneering new company, but committed to continuous improvement and growth. Coming back bigger and stronger suggests resilience and determination to overcome any obstacles and emerge even more robust effective. This mindset is essential for any company looking to make a significant impact and create a lasting change by learning from challenges and using them as opportunities to grow. Unpassive can refine its approach, expand its reach, and empower even more individuals and businesses to achieve time freedom and take away income. But coming back bigger and stronger and much better. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Well, I believe it's from Mr. Ash Mafera, but this is from Pat Parent. Anyway, I want to take this special moment to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing each and everyone here this evening, this morning, or afternoon. It all depends upon your location. I want to thank Queen Julie Pierre. Thank you for this astonishing mindset. I mean, you know what to say. And just like everybody admire you, we admire you because you are a strong woman. You are determined to do anything. You don't care. You want to do anything to achieve your goals. We appreciate you for that. Thank you so much for this amazing webinar. I want to thank our moderators, Queen Joyce and Queen Debbie. We appreciate you. I mean, the way you guys moderate, you make Mr. Michael Ems to be happy. Well, he's always happy. I really want to thank our presenter for tonight, Mr. Michael Williams Ems. Like I said from the beginning, you talk about my father, our father. And this is the quote, Mr. Ash always said that the voice, I mean, he keeps saying that the force is talking to him. And I notice you make us to understand that God is very important. Without God, the air that we are breathing. When you said that, I said, this is what I always say, right? You and I were breathing this air and we're not paying for it. You mentioned it. I appreciate you for taking your time. You know that you're supposed to be sleeping or be with your family, but you decided to come and share this amazing word of encouragement about our amazing, or should I say extraordinary company, Unpassive, to this webinar. Do you guys know how excited Miss Julie Pierre was when you told us on Sunday that you were coming, Mr. Michael Williams? Oh, she was excited like crazy. We're all excited. And I want to thank you. And we pray that you will come back again and again and again. Thank you for the love. You know, I know you love Unpassive too much. You have always protected this company. Oh, yes, Mr. Michael Williams. To tell you the truth, you are sucked on to Mr. Ash. To me. Because especially when it comes to statistics. The first time I heard about you, you are a statistician. You talk about these dollars like crazy. You count the money. You calculate it. I say, Chai, when will I ever meet this man? But I respect you, sir. And thank you. I want to see you back next week. Next month. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it and we love you.
Dr. Smiley, you can make a black man blush. I'm sorry. You're making him blush. Oh my goodness. For all of us or anyone who is watching and listening, if for any reason you miss any segment of this webinar, it will be uploaded on YouTube and you can watch it and follow up. Listen to it over and over at your own pace. Do not feel pressured to follow all the way to the end, but it will be available on YouTube. So thank you all. At this stage, I'm going to call on our host.
Before you do that, Debbie.
Hold on. Before you do that, please. I forgot to I want to thank Engineer Michael for always supporting me. Please, Engineer Michael, Dr. John Ajongwe, Dr. Patient. I love you guys, with all my heart. And the love that you guys have for me. But God loves you all. Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you, Queen First Lady. Brother Michael, I'm sorry. I'm going to retract my words. After all this comment and rebuke, I want you to come and, with all what you've heard, give us a closing remark. Sorry, I'm going to take back my word. Forgive me, but I need you to respond, please, for your closing remark, sir.
Are you serious?
I am.
What
quick summary that would be in my head. Yeah. So
yeah, we've heard a lot of great things tonight. A lot of great contributions. There's no doubt. And that's what this is all about, right? You see, right now we're collaborating, right? Like that's what this is all about, right? It's each one having something to contribute, right? And that's why for me, like, it's never about one person. This business is not just about our CEO. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about this one or that. It just isn't. What we have is because of the collective body of people that's in this company, right? We have a lot of great people that's here. We have a lot of people who think the right way. You know what I mean? The right way. And again, this is why I personally believe that it's bigger than us, right? I really believe that, right? Because if God is in it, it can't fail. If it fails, if on passive fails, okay, right? It simply means God wasn't in it. It's as simple as that, right? Because we've heard, multiple people, speak on that matter, right? We've heard multiple people say, there's a spiritual connection. It's bigger than us. You know what I mean? I just feel that you have a lot of great people who have a right relationship with our Heavenly Father, as Dr. Benny would say, right? Um, you know, and when you have good people coming together, good things happen. You know what I mean? Good things happen to good people. There's no doubt about that. And this business is just different, right? It's different. I've been in other companies, we've done some great things in other companies, right? Great accomplishments, whatever, right? But this just feels different, right? It does, right? It just feels different to see this many people that continue to, move forward. Like, to me, it's amazing. Like, it really is mind boggling when you think about it. Being real, like, everyone should have just walked away from this company. Like, if we're being real, you know what I mean? Everyone just okay, on to the next thing. You know what I mean? Oh, not making no money here, so hey, on to the next thing. And you have people who have committed themselves to on passive, meaning, if you send me this, if you send me that, if you send me this, if you send me that, not interested. It's on passive. Like, you have some folks, that's how they feel. You have some people that if you share A and B and C with them, now I'm willing to wait for on passive. But you're not making any money. You see what I mean when I say it's different, right? Think about the last company that you're in and you didn't make no money, right? Like, were you sitting there? Nope, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right. I'm not making no money, but I'm staying right here. I'm staying. Like, think about that. There's something different here, though, as to why so many are staying the course, right? Something different. You know what I mean? And so when you have that, it simply means you have something special. And when you have something special, you take care of that special thing. You know what I mean? Right? That's what people who want to do things the right way, that's what we do. And so as I look at this business, as I look at on passive, right? And we talked about, why we need on passive. It just doesn't matter your walk of life. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter what your current situation is. All of us, and I mean all of us, bar none, need on passive. Need it. Okay. We may need it for different reasons, right? But all of us have a need for it. Because there are people in on passive that already have money. Okay, don't think, because I know some folks think, oh, just a whole bunch of poor people over there trying to, get out of the rat race, blah, blah, blah. That's not true. You know what I mean? You've got some people that are well educated, multiple degrees, you know what I mean, that are in on passive as well, right? So it's not like, oh, there's a whole bunch of dumb people over there, a whole bunch of people got no sense, you know what I mean? They're just blind. Not true. There's a lot of intelligent people that's in this company, right? You have some people that have a lot of time on their hands that's in this company. They just don't have no money, right? You understand? So you have people who have money but don't have no time because all their time is spent right, to make that money. And then you have people that have all the time, but they ain't got no money. You understand? So both need on passive, because on passive can give you that total freedom, right? So the people who have all the time and no money, they can be satisfied. The people that have the money, right, and don't have no time, they can be satisfied, right? So that's why collectively, all of us, we need this company, because I believe everyone falls in one of those two categories. All of us, we fall in one of those two categories. You understand? Right? So that's why we need this company. And then we need this company because this company is giving us something that we can't get elsewhere. Right? And that is to be able to have a complete business, right? That is automated, that provides, it includes traffic. You know how many businesses out there that don't provide no traffic for people? So you join the business, and I said, they're great, fantastic companies, right? Great products. But then the people then fail. So why do they fail? If the company is great, if the products are great, even the compensation plans are great, so why do people fail? Right? Like, think about that. How does that make sense? Like, you would think and you would say, well, it can't be a good company. The company must suck. Well, why is so many people failing? Right? It fails simply because you're asking regular people to do something that they cannot do. It's as simple as that. Right? You're asking people who are not good at sales, you're asking them to sell. It always comes back to that, folks. Think of any company out there. Think of any company that you joined, that you were a part of, right? Why did you fail? It's not because the compensation plan wasn't good, right? It's not because, well, they didn't have a good CEO or a good executive team. That ain't it. It's not because the products were bad. That's not it. It's because of you as an individual. It's you. You are the reason why you didn't succeed. You understand? It's because of you. It's not because of the person who invited you. You understand me? It's none of that. It's you, right? It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. None of that stuff. It just means that you're not equipped with the skill that is needed to succeed. You're successful in your career. You understand? Right? You have a good job. You were successful in school, all this fancy stuff, right? But what is needed when it comes to business is you have to be able to sell or pay someone to sell for you. You understand? But either way, sales have to be made. Tell me a company where they don't sell anything. Right? Show me that company where no sales are being made. Right? Something has to be sold, whether it's a service or whether it's a product. You understand? Because if you don't have a product, right? If you don't have a service, then you're not a real company. You know what I mean? And that is something that will not last, right? But just understand, folks, the takeaway is that we have a company that's going to give us, it's in all of us, it's going to give us walk away income, right? That's the takeaway tonight. That's what we have. That's what we need. You understand? All of us need that. Your family members need it. Your friends need it. You understand? Your neighbors need it. Your community needs it. Right? All of us. That's what we need. Now, it doesn't mean because I have walkaway income, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to work at my job. You understand? Like, understand that, folks. It doesn't mean, well, I have this walkaway income now, so why should I work? You have some people who do actually love their job, right? You have some people who are teachers and they're teachers because they want to help, kids learn and what have you, right? You've got some nurses who want to take care of patients. They enjoy doing that, right? You understand? You have people who want to, volunteer their time to do whatever. So not because you have walkaway income, it doesn't mean that you're just a bum. You're just going to sit around and do absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? There's lots of work to do. What it means is that you're not dependent, right? You're not dependent upon you exchanging your time for money. That's what it means, right? But you can be out there volunteering your time. You understand, right? Giving back to your community. There's lots that you can do. You know what I mean? People say, oh, yeah, but if you retire, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you retire? So what? They have a long list of stuff to do. You know what I mean? But the good thing is that now you have choices. Now it's on your terms, right? So if you want to get up, you get up. If you want to stay in bed till 12 noon, you stay in bed till 12 noon. You know what I mean? Right? If you want to travel, you go travel. Whatever it is that you want to do. You have some folks who work so much, they never had time for their family. Do you have some folks who work so much, they've never seen their children play sports? They've never seen them perform in a play. You understand? They've never attended a parent-teacher interview because they can't get away from work. Folks, this is what I'm talking about, living. One of the things I love to do is to attend our children activities, right? And be there, not just for them, but for the other kids that were there that don't have parents who can show up, right? And I love to cheer them on, and I got that from when I was younger. I had a friend of mine when I was in high school, right? And my mother wasn't able to come and see any of my games. None, not even one. But my friend, his grandfather was always there. And I forever remember that, right? And he was always there cheering me on. You understand? And I took that with me, right? And so when I start to have my family, and when we go to games and support them, we're always make sure that we're cheering on and we're loud about it too, right? We're not, oh yeah, no, we're loud. We're there. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think that I'm the coach, right? Because we're so loud cheering on, the kids, them and what have you, right? That's living, folks. Being able to do that, being able to be there. You know what I mean? Week after week, month after, be there, right? It's like a job, right? Because we make sure that we're there. We make it a habit that we're there. You know what I mean? That makes a difference. And I've seen the rewards from that, right? Where I remember attending at one, and then there was this young girl that she's like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful. I remember when I was, because she's now gone through the system, graduated from school, etc. And she remembered, right, when we would come to the games then, and she was on the same team with my eldest daughter, and how we would cheer her on and all these things. And her parents wasn't able, you know what I mean? And so she was so thankful, and remember that, right? You understand? That's what I'm talking about, folks. Making a difference in people's lives without doing it because you're looking for something in return. You're just doing it because you feel it's the right thing to do. You're doing it because it's something that you're passionate about. You're doing it because you want to do it. You understand? And that's what we talk about, doing something good. That's what we're talking about when we're saying, hey, maybe you just gave somebody a good comment, right? For that, and that just put a smile on their face. Because maybe they were having a bad day. Maybe they're having a bad day and you don't know what they're thinking in their mind, but just because you said something nice to that person, all of a sudden now it's like a big switch, right? Now they'll go from having a bad day to now all these things we're seeing in on passive. All these things we're seeing people that are having these webinars, right? What was Julie Pierre doing 5 years ago? It wasn't an on-passive webinar, I can tell you that much. You understand? Right? Think of what you were doing before you got into on-passive. How many webinars were you doing before you got into Unpassive? You understand? How many people were you encouraging before you got into Unpassive? Unpassive has already made a difference in people's lives because these things matter. It's not just about dollars and cents. These things matter, folks. You may have saved people's lives and don't even realize it. You understand? Because people go through storms, right? People go through some things in life. You know what I mean? And sometimes you don't know what they're going through, right? This is what I love about this company, right? It's all the things outside of the dollars and cents. Because as I said before, the dollars and cents are going to come. Like that part, we don't need to worry about that. You know what I mean? But how are you going to impact other people's lives outside of money? You know what I mean? Right? Because that is something that all of us can do. All of us, right? All of us can do that. We can all be kind to each other. We can all encourage each other. We can all lift each other up. We can all give each other a helping hand. We can all pat each other on the back. All these things that we can do. It makes a difference, folks. Right? And that's what I see how Unpassive is bringing us all together. I didn't know any of you that's on here right now before Unpassive. You understand? And now look, we can come on, we can laugh with each other, we can crack jokes, we can have a good time together, right? Now, can you imagine when we're actually in the same room, right? Can you imagine, right, the feeling, how that's going to be? Can you imagine your family interacting with my family and vice versa? You understand? Can you imagine, right? The joy. Think of that room, the joy that will be filled inside that room, the excitement, the love that you will feel. You understand? Because you're going to know it's real. Because you've seen us from time to time. We've seen each other. You understand me? From time to time. So you know who's real from who's not real. You understand? We do have some fake founders. Don't get me wrong. we do have some. Don't get me wrong now. I'm not, this is not about kumbaya, right? We have some, right? But we have some people that are so sincere to the core. That's just who they are, right? That's what we want, folks. That's what Unpassive is doing for all of us, right? And I just can't wait. I really can't wait for us to get together, right? Because there's a difference. When you see me in person, I'm gonna look different. I promise you that, right? When you see me in person, I'm going to look different than how you see me on this camera, right? Right? I promise you that, right? But it's gonna be a great experience, right? It's going to be a great experience. And that's what Unpassive is all about, helping each and every one of us to have that great experience in life. Because folks, life really is for living. It's for living. You know what I mean? It is for living. And so I look forward to continue living with all of you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Whoa! Wow.
Thank you so
wow,
much.
Brother Michael. Thank God your kids were never playing against my own kids at any one point, because you and my wife would have instead be the people competing as to who was going to shout them all. It would have become a shouting like between the two groups of parents instead of the kids. But thank you very much for real. I mean, I don't even know how to express really what you have brought today. This is really the uplifting of humanity. And I really want to, I mean, I know we can keep going, but I know we have really shared everything. We have squeezed everything out of you for today. Not for that. It's not like, so it's not like au revoir. No, it's like,
He's not doing laundry today.
It's just a bientôt. And we're gonna pass it to our host, Queen Julie. You're the one who brought us here together. Thank you for really organizing this platform. I'll just pass it for you to make your own last closing comments. I'm not saying after we finished the official part and people want to stay till tomorrow, hey, this is the Unpassive family. So over to you, Queen Julie Pierre.
Thank you, Dr. John. Brother Michael, I can't imagine, knowing you, I can't imagine you on the field screaming. This is just, I have to see to behold. Loud Michael Williams? Nah. I know the very passive, very, that's what I know about you. So I'm looking forward to us as founders playing cricket or football, whatever, and you on the side cheering us up. How about that? That would be fun. Anyway, on a serious note, thank you, everyone. Thank you, my own admin team, Dr. Patience, Dr. John, Dr. Benny, Sister Joyce. I call you Dr. Joyce now. Wow. Sister Debbie and Engineer Mike, thank you very much for all what you do behind the scene. Brother Michael Williams, thank you. And do not be a stranger to this platform. Can we set another date? Right now, right here. How about
No pressure.
that? Are
No
you
pressure.
up to the challenge? I'll let you.
It's right now is not the best time, right? Because we're transitioning from summer to school, so I got to travel, drop off, pick up all of that stuff, and get them. But certainly we will do it again, absolutely, for sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We're looking forward to that. I think you've just taken my sleep away tonight. I won't be able to sleep because I have so much to process.
I still have to eat dinner.
Yeah, I know. So let me not be long and let me allow you to go have your dinner. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone who come here every week. Sister Joyce, great moderation along with Sister Debbie. Thank you, everyone else who come every week to just support, to add on to the platform. You don't just come and learn, but you add to the platform. Thank you very much. And let us continue praying for our CEO. And, we just have to keep the faith, be resilient, and press on. Thank you very much, and good night, everyone.